We're live.
Hello.
Let's go. What is up, everybody? We're back for what was this, like the 20s? Well, it says 26th episode so far of this season. Having a
I've
good
lost
old
track.
time. I only
Yeah.
know because Danny put episode 25 last week. So
Y'all need to be doing that. Am I the only one that's doing that?
Yeah, I lose track.
Apparently.
No, I lose track of it. I never keep track of it.
I think it's on Spotify. I think the episode numbers are listed.
Dude,
So
it's
someone's
getting
looking out for
It's
us.
getting so hard to know which one I have to literally go into the playlist that Jared created and count. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Oh man, and Danny's putting in work every week, and we're just slacking.
Yeah. I just put the title. I don't really care.
Freaking slackers everywhere.
I just updated everybody's photos for the thumbnail. We have brand new photos now.
Finally, I got
Sweet.
tired of seeing my old headshots from like 2019, early 2019 too. I was like, it's so nasty.
Well, while we're having fun talking about this and all, we got a lot to talk about racing wise, if I can speak. Starting out with New Hampshire, and let's be real, like New Hampshire has gotten better definitely in the last couple of years, but it's not a race that everyone expects is gonna just, this is gonna be the race of the year kind of thing. I think Eric, you said that, and I agree. I rewatched the race once it went live on YouTube, I think yesterday, and because I was in the car having to listen to it, and I was on the edge of my seat. Like I heard Eric Almirola was the leader, and then they announced 10 to go, and I was like, go, get in there, go.
I was in the airport waiting for my flight that got delayed, just listening to the radio on my phone. And I was like, what is nasty?
I was shopping for groceries, and so I'm like keeping updates in my car while I'm driving to the grocery store, and I'm like, okay, Eric Almirola might actually win this race. So I'm going for Kroger, and the race is just on my phone, so people can just hear the race. I'm just walking for the aisles. I'm like, I want to know what happens.
Oh my
Crazy.
goodness! Well,
Yeah,
so much for Danny putting in the work.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Well, at the grocery. Well, so was I the only one on my couch actually watching the end of this race?
Yes,
Yeah, I
but
think
to-
so.
to
Yeah.
Oh my
be
goodness.
fair,
Well,
I actually had to make it home.
we had things to do. I had just got done hosting people. I had to replenish the
That's true.
groceries.
That's
Yeah.
true. You were
Actually, I didn't buy that much, but I went to the grocery store.
well.
Mr. Man to sit on his couch. What did you think of the race since you actually got to watch it live?
You have to watch
Putting
it.
in that hard work, man. Those butt imprints don't make themselves. It was a great finish. I mean, the whole race was really incredible once you got past the bad no call on NASCAR's part, waiting at least one lap, probably 2 or 3, maybe 8 laps too long to throw the caution flag for rain. But once we get past that, the end of this race and really the entire final stage it felt like it was out of a movie. It felt like every 10 laps, a new scene, a new antagonist, a new protagonist had taken the stage. You know, Eric Almirola came into the weekend 27th in points. We've joked about on this show every week. Somebody picks him as their guy who's going to suck pick, because pretty much every week it rang true. But this week they had top 5 speed right out the gate. You know, he was racing with the big dogs, and you could hear it in his voice. I don't know if y'all heard the different radio transmissions, but like when Chase Elliott got into him on a restart, he was mad because Eric Almirola knew for the first time all year he had a car that he could win with, and he didn't like getting run over by other drivers near the front of the field. So, you know, he went up there, he beat Penske cars, he beat Kevin Harvick, he beat the Joe Gibbs cars down the stretch. You know, Christopher Bell was closing, and if they didn't call the race for darkness, he might have had a shot at Almirola, but you can't take this win away from him. He absolutely deserved it. He had to overcome Austin Dillon, who was holding him up a little bit there in the closing laps because he was trying to protect his playoff spot. It really had it all. Matt DiBenedetto threw a Hail Mary out there, daring NASCAR to throw the 10 to go signal, and it didn't quite pan out for it. It was fantastic. Like you said, Jarrett, the last couple of years, New Hampshire's had some pretty good moments. Like I think 2018, you had Harvick knocking Kyle Busch out of the way late in the race for the win. Like it's had some good moments, but I do believe it's one of the most underrated tracks on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule because it doesn't have, you know, all-time great moments. It just has a lot of little moments. This weekend's race was the first New Hampshire race I can remember where really from start to finish, there was controversy, there was drama, there was parody. And I don't know, I thought it was the best race of the year if you can get past NASCAR's ineptitude when it comes to deciding.
I mean, if nothing else, it actually, you know, as bad as it was, it made the race more interesting because of that happening.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That is true.
It was crazy seeing the start too. That was nuts. But I mean, Eric Almirola, I mean, I picked him as my underdog for the first time all season, and it panned out. It's like, man, if I would have picked him to win the points, man, I could have gotten some extra points for the podcast points. But no, outside of that, though, I mean, Great runs by Christopher Bell as well. And Matty D he can't catch a break. And I know we'll talk about the whole Penske comments like later in the show, but like, man, it's just another case of Matty D not being able to catch a break. Like, I mean, that could have easily been, Matty D in that situation. But again, it's just another case of bad timing. But Eric Almirola was like 27th, 26th in the standings entering this race, like below the top 20.
27th
right?
or 28th. He was like right around there with like Corey LaJoie and Anthony Alfredo.
Yeah, and all of a sudden
behind Eric Jones.
He skyrockets. Now all of a sudden he skyrockets to a playoff spot, and now we have, what is that, 14 different winners this season, correct?
13.
Or 13.
Yeah, but we're getting close.
I
Still
mean,
got Daytona.
Didn't the 2014 playoffs had 14 different winners enter that one?
It was somewhere
14?
around there.
I think 2014 it was, because I think
It
Newman
was
and
nuts.
Kenseth are the only two to point.
Yeah, so I'm getting that, those season type of vibes for this year's playoffs too. It's nuts.
I'll put the points on screen in a bit, but I think let's just go from the beginning, just unpack each part of the race, because I think there's something really from each part. So let's get into the bad first, get that out of the way, so we can get into the pretty good. The officiating fiasco. I think all of us here can agree that it was pretty bad. Like, let's be real.
One of the worst calls of all time.
Now, if I may have a step or two wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. But what it seemed like is, all of it went down, and then afterwards, rightfully so, NASCAR fans pretty pissed. Poor Jake sitting next to me was just like,
he was so shocked as we were, man.
Simon and Garfunkel's Sound of Silence would be playing at that moment. It would be never be more fitting. Yeah. But anyway, Steve O'Donnell comes out and basically says that, we had too many steps of communication. That, this person said this, then they relayed it to this one, then we had to relay it to the flag stand or something like that, and then relay it to us and then back. Well, then Jim Utter reports that the spotters in turn 1 had said the track is wet, and in response they got 1 to go.
Yeah. Now, and I did see it's not good. I did, to their credit, I think what they were referring to in turn 1 was the weepers that had been bothering them all day long, and they actually really never got dry, even when the race went back green. And 2, I did hear, I think Pockrass said there was sort of a delay after they said it's still wet in turns 1, so there might have been a communication, but no, you're right. That certainly wasn't a good look, and NASCAR deserved all the scrutiny. Kyle Busch was very restrained in his post-race, post-wreck comments.
I've never heard a reporter. I've
Yeah.
never heard like somebody tell a reporter on live TV, "You're gonna get me in trouble." Like, I've never heard that before. That was nuts.
He sounded like a kid trying not to get grounded.
I mean, to be fair, I was listening. Like, it sounded like he's setting him up for something that would have gotten. He wanted to get a reaction out of it.
He already hit the pace car though, so there's that.
Which
so it's like that was our
which
is good. Which is
well,
good.
I think that was actually more NASCAR saying, "Yeah, we were really dumb. We're not." Gonna
we messed up. Yeah, we understand.
But I brought it up in a video this past week. I wouldn't be as upset with this if it was just a thing on its own. Like, it's been a common theme really since about last October. Whether you look at the Xfinity race in the monsoon when they admitted they waited too long, the Texas race that you can argue ruined Kevin Harvick's season because they let them stay on the track too long trying to push it. But even just safety-wise in general, outside of like COTA and the Bristol truck race, you see what happened with the truck race at Charlotte with the situation with Johnny Sauter, and it's getting consistently closer. Like, NASCAR has made bad decisions in the past, like, and I can accept that as a fan. Like, they're not going to get everyone right. I accept that. I think it's just the amount of unnecessary danger the drivers are in and how pissed they already are to begin with. I just think that NASCAR, like, I feel like they're trying to be too aggressive with it when they probably should just take 2 steps back and get back to basics. But I want to know what you guys think. Is it getting out of control, or am I overreacting?
At least with Brian France, he understood racing. You know, like
what?
that was the very least.
I won't say he understood it.
Phrase
but
that a different way.
He grew up around racing.
Yeah.
He grew up around it.
That is the better word. He grew up around it, so he's familiar.
So what I'm saying is like he wouldn't, have, the drivers go out there on a freaking white racetrack. You know what I mean? Like
the advantage that Brian France has is that it's in the family.
Exactly. It's in the family. Right. That meme's still going on. I keep forgetting. That's so funny. But nah, so at least he had that edge. But gee, gosh, I mean, like, this is just another case of trying to put entertainment first over, like the sake of the drivers. Like, what if somebody got hurt in that situation? So I don't know. It's just it was as clear as day that the racetrack was wet. And now, like, 6 laps in, they just start skirting off and stuff. And I'm quite sure around, 3 to 4 laps in, they were like radio in, like, guys, like, hey, it's really wet out here. Like, can you just stop? Like if NASCAR would have thrown the caution like 3 or 4 laps in, then they would have been able to save themselves. But they just dug an even deeper hole in the situation. And, Kyle Busch was angry, rightfully so. And well, basically all the Joe Gibbs, like 3 of the 4 Joe Gibbs cars, like, it's funny Christopher Bell got second. And, like, the rest of the Joe Gibbs cars, basically their days were pretty much kind of.
That's what it took for Bell to finally lead the way.
I know, to finally be the top. It took a freaking, like, a freak accident like that.
Mother Nature.
Yeah, so Mother Nature finally helped Christopher Bell become the top Joe Gibbs racing driver.
Mother Nature also helped him at the Daytona Road Course. Let's remember that one.
That is true. Yeah, so Mother
Rainbow,
Nature.
oh my gosh!
So he has a thing or two to Christopher Bell. He's lucky in that situation. But yeah, poor KFB, poor Martin Truex Jr. Like Truex, like his interview was even sadder in my opinion. Like like he was like, dude, like
he came back to finish 12th.
But still, like he felt like they had a winning race car though. Like
probably. Yeah.
It was so he couldn't get it back. But Denny Hamlin, that was a nice save though. He didn't even hit anything too, and he was still able to. I don't know where did he finish? Did he get a top 10? Hey, he got a top 10. Yeah, let's go. So he's still got a top 10. So not a bad day for him. But as for KFB, I mean, he's enjoying his vacation hard for a reason, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So he's done dealing with NASCAR's BS for the moment.
Going back to why they've been so aggressive with these calls, I think it comes down to they are desperate to please the networks. I think the networks want the 3 p.m. starts, regardless of weather, even though they understand that leads to more threatening weather situations. But not only do they want the later starts, they want the race to be over in a nice 3 or 4 hour window, I think. And so NASCAR, not just for the sake of the network, but for the sake of its sponsors, for the sake of itself, for the sake of the fans and attendance, they want to do everything they can to keep the race green. And in the case of this New Hampshire race, the radar behind that little pop-up cell was perfectly dry. So I think they were hoping that cell was going to just dissipate quickly, and they weren't going to have to. They certainly hoped they weren't going to have to go to red flag. I think they were hoping it would at worst take a short yellow, and so they just got too aggressive. I think that's what it came down to at Charlotte in that Xfinity race. I think that's what it came down to at Texas last October. That race had already been pushed to a Wednesday. They just wanted to get the hell out of there, and so they were afraid to throw the caution for anything, unless they really felt like they had to. So I think it really just comes down to pressure that they've put on themselves, and that they feel the networks, I think, are putting on them, is why they've been so aggressive lately. And I think you're right. Like, safety wasn't as big of a concern this week compared to, Coda, where they're going 180 miles an hour down that back straightaway through puddles, but, security in terms of like a driver's season, like Kyle Busch did not deserve to wreck on lap 8. That's important points he may have just missed out on, based on NASCAR's inaction. So, they got to shore it up. And unfortunately, everyone talks about it being a learning experience. We've all just named like 4 or 5 instances where they have kind of made the same mistake in the last year. So they're not learning from it. Maybe this is finally the one they learned from, but I wouldn't bet on it,
It wouldn't surprise me if they don't, to be honest with you. They have to, though. They have to.
Sorry, did you say something, Midget?
Yeah, I just want to hear what you think on it.
I mean, I don't know. It does suck, but I guess I don't know. They've heard so much pushback from us too, from fans this year too. It's like fans got on them for the Daytona crap, but then we remember being sick and tired of waiting forever at Texas, and I don't know. I guess it's all boiled down to something like this is bound to happen, but now it's something that they found their limit, so don't do it next time. That's all I can say on that. It happened. You can't change it, but it's every day is a learning experience and everything. I give that to NASCAR. I don't know. The way I think about it, the sport keeps evolving. We know there's new people in the sport, so it's not going to be the same for everyone every day. So
yeah, just don't send them out on a wet racetrack again. Please, just don't do that.
I think that when I say like taking 2 steps back, I think like NASCAR and the networks, because it is definitely partly to do with the networks. Noon. But I don't actually this time noon wouldn't have helped anything. It was raining then at noon too.
No, it didn't matter.
So I'm not going to beat that dead horse, but I do think it again is just both of them have to take 2 steps back and and look at what the basics are. It's like I forgot who it was. Quote Dale Jr. What's your thought on it? Shit gets wet when it rains. Yeah,
truer words. Never
I mean it's
true.
If I think that as much as we hated the Daytona Road Course deal, in hindsight, it's better to be safe with it. So I think if NASCAR tries to be safe next time with it and it just ends up being we pushed it back for nothing, I'll be more happy than if Kyle Busch and Martin Truex kind of had their days ruined because they tried to be overly aggressive with it. I'm fine with overly aggressiveness when it comes to like, hey, let's push the issue on track configurations, where we go, big swings with the schedule of the car. I'm fine with aggression there. I think in this instance, though, when it comes to something like this, I am completely fine with them being conservative on it and taking the L if it means being, right 9 out of 10 times with it. I think that's really where I'm at with it. It's like you said, Eric, every time's a learning experience, and you said it too, Danny. It's just there comes a point when it's like you get beat over the head with it. You're bound to learn at some point, right?
But I thought what was funny is some of the people on Twitter getting ratioed, like, because you're just sliding with NASCAR immediately. Like, there are a few notables there, and I was looking through some of those quote tweets. I was like, oh my god.
And it still wasn't as bad as F1 Twitter.
F1. Oh my gosh. We'll get to that.
That's another animal right there.
And by the way, we'll read the super chats at the halfway point. We got a nice. I'll even time it 5-minute segment for it. But
nice.
let's get on with it a little bit more. I didn't get to see this live, and I didn't really get the same effect with it after the fact. Eric, I want you Quinn versus Ryan Newman.
Like, oh yeah, what the hell is that? What was going on, man?
The beautiful rivalry we never knew we needed.
Yeah, I only just found out about this today, so I got to know more about
what
this.
in the hell is going on?
So I don't know. It's kind of innocuous. It was just the middle of the race. I don't even know if they were. I think Half was probably a couple laps down, and they had him on tape. Kudos to NBC. I don't think Fox would have caught this, but NBC caught this on the replay. Going into turn 3, I think he pointed Newman to the inside, like go on by, like his hands out the window. And then going into turn 3, Newman just blows the corner, just junks him. And of course, Half was mad. They had radio of him on pit road saying, "Get me out there. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get back at him," or whatever. He goes back out under caution and kind of just rubs up against Newman. Whatever. That was about it. That was basically the end of it. Although on Twitter, I think Roush-Fenway tweeted something like, "Oh, I don't know." They tweeted something about the incident, and so Half replied with, basically, "Can't wait for your announcement on Tuesday," which is Keselowski was taking Newman's ride. So it was, I don't know. I think nothing's going to come out of it from here, but it's a weird situation.
I'll give him props. I don't think too many guys would have gotten Newman back. I mean, Newman's too thick to fight. You know what I mean? So, he's one of those guys you don't want to mess with, basically.
Hey, to be fair, Half, I think when he rubbed into him under caution, he hit him with the side of his car that was already damaged. He wasn't wasting any good sheet metal on Ryan Newman.
Do you think Newman just biffed? Basically, he pretty much just messed up the corner, or was like, "Get out of my way"?
I mean, the cameras never picked up any sort of precursor to that incident, and I, according to the radio, I think it was just a mistake. I think Newman just messed up. But it was just really bad timing.
Yeah. Well, at least Half was standing up for himself. At least.
Yeah.
It's too thick to fight. That's just.
Dude, he can't. No way, man.
It's so stupid. It's great. I love it. All right, let's get to the man of the hour, though. We've memed him all year, but he deserves all the credit in the world right now. Eric Almirola. Getting a much needed win, a fitting win too after
a miracle
this year
and
the last week. And Danny, what are your thoughts on Eric Almirola unmemeing himself now for the year?
Good job. You proved me wrong. I said he was winning Daytona. He might still, but
I thought it'd be Daytona for sure. But no, he's way early.
I was confident he'd get a win. I didn't think it'd be this one though.
And this is his first non-super speedway win. Finally, his third career win too.
Yeah, I remember in his post-race interview, he said that his wife told him, "You better win something besides a super speedway, or else it'll make you look bad."
And also, I just realized this. Eric Almirola has like won some unusual races. So like 2014 Daytona was rain delayed. He won that. And then 2018, which is possibly the worst Talladega race, one of the worst ones ever, when they had that SHR win. And then he wins, with the whole fiasco on the wet racetrack. So it's like it's crazy. He always wins these like unusual races.
And they ended it early.
Yeah, so, it's with 10 to go. Yeah,
but he got a Mickey win.
Yeah, he's a Mickey winner. He's a Mickey winner.
I was gonna say what you basically just said is he only wins when in that Daytona race in 2014 when half the field wrecks out, or when his car is way better than everybody else's,
it's just
or
unusual.
when NASCAR calls the race early for him. You're saying that all of Almirola's wins have been kind of
they're all Mickey wins. Oh, they're all Mickey wins.
You're not entirely wrong, but I will say this weekend
Mickey
Almirola, yo.
By far the most impressive performance from him. Pressure on the line, obstacles still in his way, and he got it done.
So he needs basically the most ideal and the most perfect situations in order to win.
Yeah,
Mickey winner.
I confirm this is a Mickey win because it was at the Magic Mile, the most magical track on earth.
It was named after the Magic Kingdom. Actually, that was
Mickey win.
Mickey win.
Definition of a Mickey win.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think because they hired people from Disney or something like that to help work it. Apparently,
I will say, like Aurora says in the chat, Eric dominated a race. I mean,
he did.
He flat out dominated.
He did. Yeah.
So
well deserved win. Congrats.
Does this mean that he's going to be in the 10 car now more than just through the end of the year?
I don't.
He has more wins than Harvick.
Your option is Riley Herbst, so maybe.
There's a lot of free agents out there. Eric Jones.
Smithfield. I mean, the thing is, he's got Smithfield with him. I mean, they've stuck with him now for what, almost 10 years.
Yeah. I doubt they're leaving him. Yeah, they'll probably still be around in some way, shape, or form if he keeps that ride.
But I would like to see Eric Jones with SHR. I would like that.
The people at Smithfield are like, there's two things that we know in this world. One, good bacon. Two, we love a man named Eric Almirola.
They love him. That's their Cuban. That's their Cuban missile, basically. That's the Cuban.
Two-dimensional. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know where Eric Almirola goes. If you ask Steve Letarte, winning solves everything. That was his kind of deal with Matt DiBenedetto, his commentary on Matt DiBenedetto's situation. Well, Eric Almirola is now a 3-time Cup winner.
And also, shout out to IDK Player. He sent me the funniest video of his reaction to it. Like, did you see it, Jared?
So yeah, he's just like, get that effer out of the way. Talk about Austin Dillon. Like, get that little spoon-fed effer out of the way. I'm like, Jesus.
Well, no, after the start-finish line, he's like, F you, F you, F you.
And then he's Logano. He's like, double F you. No.
And for Blaney, he was like, no, I like you.
It was pretty
shout out to
good.
Joey Logano. Dude was 2 laps down on lap 8, finished 4th. Good for him.
I was just thinking, though, IDK has been telling us, trust the plan. Trust the plan. Eric
Almirola
is going to come up and win a race. And of course, we all thought it would be Daytona.
Well, actually, technically, this is Eric Almirola's 3rd win of the season. The Daytona Duels, the All-Star Open, and now this one. So 3 wins to go with his already 3 existing.
That actually is a good
wins.
point. He has been good in the exhibition races.
Yeah,
Danny, what's it feel like to know that Eric Almirola now technically has as many wins as Alex Bowman this year?
I mean, to be fair, I'm sitting here thinking most of his are probably Mickey wins too. So.
Oh, Mickey Bowman.
Hey, speaking of Mickey, I gotta say, shout out to Chase Elliott to have won at SRX in Nashville. We know what time we left there. I don't know what time he got to fly to New Hampshire. He probably had maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep, honestly, and then he went out and finished 3rd.
I think Danny, you had said before the race, they're like, you're like, how much you want to bet? It's like an hour before the race, and they're like, just let Chase sleep, it'll be fine. They're like, just get him up.
I don't know, because I know how the things they are. Like, oh yeah, Chase, come on, Napa has people they want you to meet. Come on, Chase.
They probably let him have a few more hours.
Oh, you kidding me? If Chase wanted, they do like a weekend of Bernie's with him. They just let him sleep, and they just wave his hands for him. Well, so kind of lost in this, just because of how good of a story it is that Eric Almirola got the win, is the fact that Penske was really fast. I mean, all 3 of their cars in the top 5. Logano, I think, went from like 30th to 5th by the end of that race once he got back on the lead lap. And it kind of got me thinking. Last year, we had talked about Harvick and Hamlin being the favorites, right? And they were good at all of the 550 tracks and kind of struggled at the 750 tracks. And I know, Eric, you brought up the point about, hey, this doesn't mean they're the favorites here. Well, now this year, we're talking about, not as much Denny Hamlin, but Kyle Larson, and he's really good at the 550 tracks, shown some speed at the 750 tracks, but that whole Hendrick organization's been a bit off since NASCAR started watching them more.
Mm-hmm.
So
I got my eye on you.
Yeah,
NASCAR
Larson even finished 10th in this one. Or no, what am I looking at? No, this is not. This is a line. This is a lineup. Why that should be that? Well, actually, I think about. I said back about Chase Elliott. He finished 18th in that. Jeez.
Well, my point I'm leading to here is Penske the under the radar squad that is possibly the favorite for the championship.
That's what it's looking like, in this whole playoff era. You have to peak at the right time. It's not about.
I'm not even saying playoff and peaking. I'm saying this track is probably the most similar to Phoenix on the schedule, and they show the most overall speed as a team. I don't think Eric Almirola is making the Final Four. So
no.
I'm gonna put him to the side here. So I'm asking you guys: is Penske, with all of this in mind, should they be considered the favorites, and are we overlooking them?
I don't know. I think if Brad Keselowski makes it to Phoenix, I think he'll arguably be the favorite just like last year, because this is kind of playing out like last year did. Keselowski circled New Hampshire last year saying this was the closest race to Phoenix in the final stretch of the season. He went out and won last year at New Hampshire. Mm-hmm. This year he finished third, still ran really well, was still competitive. I think he won a stage. So, come Phoenix, Keselowski may only have like 2 wins on the season, but if he gets to Phoenix, just like last year, he might have had the best car in that race. It was neck and neck between him and Elliott. Watch out for Keselowski. Now, the difference is last year he had more wins, more playoff points. It was an easier route to the Final Four. This year, he's right now kind of behind a lot of other competitive Chevys and even some other Fords. I think Blaney has shown better speed this year consistently than he has any other year with Penske. So he'll have competition. Logano showed great perseverance, but I think you're right. Obviously, you still got to look at the Hendrick cars because they have the most playoff points. Even if they're not quite as fast, they're at least going to get 1 or 2 guys in the championship 4. But then it's Penske. After Kyle Busch and Martin Truex and Hamlin, it's Penske. So, take your pick of the 3 of them. I think any of them could steal it.
And also you have to remember Penske in general is pretty fast on the 750 mile per hour, horsepower, racetracks in general anyway. So, but, since this is, the closest thing to the championship 4 race, they're definitely one of the favorites for sure. I'd say at the moment, just with, I don't know. It's like in terms of top 3 teams, Penske's there, but where exactly? I don't know. It's just, it's basically gone back and forth pretty much between Penske, Hendrick, and Joe Gibbs Racing all season to me.
What do you think, Danny?
I think Brad said it best in his interview this week that he wants to go out on top of Penske. So his goal is to carry the speed that he needs to get to the championship 4. He would like to leave Penske, honestly, winning another championship before he goes into this owner-driver role. And I don't doubt that. I think we've seen drivers leaving teams in the past where we felt like, okay, they're just fulfilling obligations and then they want to get the heck out of there and go do their own new thing. I think Brad is more wants to enjoy his time while he's still there.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, I think going, because we'll talk about the playoffs in a moment, but we're 4 races out, so I think it is kind of fitting to start talking more about it. One thing that is kind of making this stuff a lot closer, I think, when it comes to playoff points and whatnot, is usually most years the guy who wins the regular season title, usually they have like 3 or 4 wins, If Denny Hamlin holds on, I'm pretty sure he'll make it off points. I don't think we're getting 16 or more winners. He might fall off, but if he holds on, he's gonna go in there with maybe like 18 playoff points instead of like a usual first seed having like 40, or a first place driver having like 35 to 50. So I think it's gonna be a lot closer than people think. Maybe not in the round of 16, but I think definitely like I would not be surprised if you saw somebody like a Denny Hamlin, a Kyle Larson, a Kyle Busch, one of those guys get bounced, due to like Talladega, just one bad race. I wouldn't be surprised. That's a big reason I'm bringing this up.
Yeah, like opposite of last year where everyone looked at Hamlin and Harvick as kind of the clear two front runners. You knew at least one of them was making the championship four and was going to make a run at the championship. This year, I don't think that exists. You could say Kyle Larson, but Hendrick doesn't look that good the last month. Like they look very beatable in the last month. So what have you done for me lately? Hendrick looks no better than, half the JGR or Penske cars. So right now, take your pick. If you ask me right now to make a championship prediction, I'd probably still pick a Hendrick car just because they have so many playoff points. There's a good chance they'll get to the championship. But like I said, Ryan Blaney, if he gets to Phoenix, I think he has as good a shot right now as Kyle Larson to win that race. So again, take your pick.
I would probably at least put Elliott in there mainly because of the Charlotte Roval being in the playoffs.
Well, and Nolan Johnson in the chat, he brings up that it's not good for Larson because he's horrible at Talladega. I mean,
that is true.
I don't recall any race at Talladega where he's finished not crashed.
It's always been something. Well, this year, remember, didn't they leave something on his engine and it exploded basically, right? Like they left something.
I mean, didn't he blow up on lap 2 or something?
Yeah, they left something. Yeah, and that's what have no practice does basically.
Yeah, I mean, even without that, it's just he's got horrible luck at Talladega, and then
he's not good.
What were the other ones in that round? Las Vegas. Well, Las Vegas is good for him, so that might be a saving grace.
His teammate will probably win the Roval, but Larson was good at Coda, so don't count him out.
Good point.
If he could pull off a win somewhere in the playoffs, plus he comes in with more wins this year. Bowman's got a decent shot. He did really good in all of those races last year. He just had no wins to back it up.
Well, we're talking all this playoff championship talk here. I can probably put on screen right now and we can talk about it. We got the standings in the...
It's exciting again. It's exciting again.
Let me put it up right here. So I have it on the screen right now in a very crude way. But Denny Hamlin's plus 283. I don't really think we need to talk too much.
He still doesn't have a win.
He could stay on vacation after the Olympics and still be fine.
He still doesn't have a win. It's crazy.
I think he's got to be careful though, because I don't mean to. I know we joke, but I actually think we could get 16 winners this year. Harvick showing speed, and we have 2 more road courses plus Daytona coming up. I'm just saying, don't count any of these guys out. So Hamlin needs to win the regular season championship because that's the only way he guarantees a spot.
I think if what Hamlin needs to hope for if he doesn't win is that there are 2 repeat winners at the road courses, or if Austin Cindric is racing in one, he gets the win and takes it away from a
honestly
driver.
Can see Cindric winning at the Indianapolis road course.
He could have won Road America straight up before all that stuff happened.
I'll go through some of the others on the cut line. Kevin Harvick is plus 82. While that seems good now, that's one bad race away from being right on the cut line. Tyler Reddick is currently the 16th man in, plus 5. Austin Dillon, minus 5. He's now currently out. Then Chris Buescher, minus 121, and Matty D is minus 143.
And that is why Austin Dillon was blocking on the final laps there. He's like, oh crap. He's like, he's gonna win. And also what's even better, it's both RCR cars going up against each other. That's even more entertaining.
Well, I don't know. Austin Dillon, we didn't see him winning last year. He still got a win last year, so you never know what can happen.
Hey, Tyler Reddick has been so good. Where did he finish this week? Did he get another top 10? Because he has like 3 or 4 in a row.
He has 16 top 20s in a row this season.
I think I counted him out a few weeks back, and now he's in.
He's back.
So I think Reddick will pull away from Dillon, but you feel bad for both of them because all year long I feel like RCR has kind of been the feel-good story. They've had their drivers like for most of the year like 13th, 14th in points on the grid. Like, hey, look at RCR. Wow, what everybody here.
Yeah, they've been good.
Do we know how far back how far back is Chastain? That's what I'm trying to ask.
Oh, he's like
more than 140.
way back there.
Okay, because he's been coming to life. He got another top 10 too. He's just coming to life way too
He's
late.
just so inconsistent. That's the thing. After Pocono, we were like, before the Pocono races, we were like, okay, maybe he's on the rise.
But with him coming to life, he's someone who I wouldn't count out to sneaking a win.
Yeah, perhaps.
Almirola winning at New Hampshire has just anything goes. Like he's driving angry.
This is one of the most feel-good wins at New Hampshire that I can remember since Brian Vickers back in 2013.
That's true. Yeah, that's right. That was it. It was on a part.
Some people are feeling good about that one.
I still think.
Wait, did he do something to Kenseth or something?
2011 it was kind of Vickerism.
Oh yeah, Vickerism. That's right. That was 2013.
Geez, you hold a grudge or not?
Hey, 2011 to 2013, high school.
Still,
Eric,
that's you don't forget. Don't forget.
well, he was having health issues by then. I actually do remember feeling
Yeah.
kind of happy for Vickers, though.
Now, I know that it's still an outside chance, but I still think that one bad race, and I think if Harvick has one really bad race, I think Tyler Reddick will be ahead of him personally. I don't think Harvick is safe. He's shown too much inconsistency. He only has
This
six
man
top
lost a
fives on the year.
championship. This man lost a championship 4 appearance. Anything can happen.
He has only had 6 top fives on the year. Like he's on pace right now. They have like the lowest amount of top fives I think in any season with SHR.
He has been around the front more often. And you got to remember Michigan's coming up. That is becoming his playground here.
Yeah, I really think I think he could potentially win that one. I can see that.
If he doesn't win Michigan, though, I think Daytona is going to be very nerve-wracking for every Harvick fan out there. I don't care if he's 59 ahead and it's like the absolute worst comes to worst. After what happened last year, I don't think any Harvick fan can be comfortable right now.
If your driver enters, the season's finale at Daytona this year, what is the full race of points? 60, right?
59 because you can score 1 point.
Okay, so if they're below 59, then anything goes basically.
You do not want a repeat of what happened in Daytona 500 when 16 cars wrecked on lap 10.
Yeah,
you have to
wreck on the final lap. Have the big one on the final lap. There you go.
My big thing is you just don't want to be 16th on the cut line going in. I don't care if you have a 100-point gap. If you're 16th, all it takes is
one winner. Yeah.
Roush Chastain.
Eric's like, how could you beat us bad?
So basically, you want to be 15th or above, and to kind of be safe in case there's a different winner, and also you need a bunch of points to go your way and stuff too. So
it's tense. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's shocking that Hamlin and Harvick don't have wins at this point.
Look, say what you will about the playoffs, they're entertaining at the very least.
This year they are.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't want to ask you guys that really quick because that's how you guys have heard me talk about how I don't really like the win and you're in usually, but something about Almirola's win this weekend, it did not really bother me. I feel like the win you're in format only added to the drama and enjoyment, and and I think it's just because it was New Hampshire and not Daytona or Talladega that he won. I think that's what's doing it for me. That he really had to earn it. He didn't fluke into that win.
Yeah, and it's also different from the Chris Buescher's only career Cup win. How he got into the playoffs and stuff too. Exactly. Yeah, but I do get what you're saying. It's just it's just this is exactly what NASCAR wants. They want a guy all the way there. They want these Cinderella story moments, those Game 7 moments. Hey, NASCAR. It just sucks that it coincided with the whole mishap at the very beginning of the race too. Yeah. Imagine if that didn't happen. New Hampshire would have been an absolutely perfect day for NASCAR and their whole playoff agenda and stuff. So, but
I don't mind Almirola winning just because I like him as a guy, but I still hate the win and you're in.
Yeah, I still don't like it. I mean, it's just the racing fan in me is
to answer that question. That's my thoughts really with it.
Yeah, just the racing fan in me. I would rather just have a full points, season. But I mean, I get why they're doing the playoffs though. I get why, for the sake of entertainment, basically.
Well, really quick, I want to just thank everybody out there for watching right now. We have well over 500 watching, so lick that like button.
Click the like button.
Yeah, let's get those likes up there and lick it. We'll read the super chats after we cover a little bit more of the Cup race and what you guys think in the poll, as well as the Xfinity race and a little SRX action. So
I just want to really quick shout out Grant on Twitter. I know Danny, I saw you liked it. He tagged us. Says he's watching the podcast from, I guess, his tractor.
Whoa!
So shout out to Grant if you're still watching.
Nice. Wow. Thanks for watching.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at a few more things really quick before we get into the poll. Ratings for this race, 1.26 rating with about 2.113 million viewers, but because it's impacted by weather, I'm not going to compare it. I mean, even a race it
was close to last year.
It was. And I think it would have beat last year if it was run on time. But even a race an hour and a half to 2 hours off its start time is always going to be lower. I found this interesting because we actually talked about before the race how there weren't really too many people there. But the estimated attendance was around 40 to 44,000. Now they might have fudged it a little bit, but it still wasn't a bad crowd for a rain-threatened race. So
And especially a lot of people point out the U.S.-Canada border, I guess, is still severely restricted. So a lot of Canadian fans come down to watch the New Hampshire race. And so I think if the border had been open, that number would have been closer to probably 60K, which would have been pretty full, I think. So not bad attendance at all things considered.
Yeah. All right, Darian. What time is it?
Yes, it is time for the poll, the famous Iceberg poll. I remember this week. I remembered for a second, or I forgot for a second last week. But do we have a new poll record? Well, it's New Hampshire, so no. It's New Hampshire, so no.
Summer in general, the poll is about at its lowest, so it's no problem. But
That's very positive, I think.
Oh, it was. It was very positive. So I asked you, what did you think of the 2021 Foxwood Resort and Casino 301? And 53% of you said it was a great race. 27% said that it was a good race. 11% said average. 4% said below average. And 5% of you said that this was a bad race.
Those are Austin Dillon fans.
And also, they weren't too happy with the start of the race.
Kyle Busch fans.
So an 80% puts it, the only comparable race to an 80% positivity rating puts it at the 2020 Phoenix finale from last year.
Wow.
I forgot that one had such high reviews.
And
but look who won.
It was also a decent race. Jimmy finished 5th. I'm sure that helped too.
Yeah.
But looking at New Hampshire, where'd it go? Looking at New Hampshire ratings, this actually lines up just about perfectly with the last 2 years. It is currently the most popular at 80%, but last year's had 79% positivity, and the year before that had 77%. So it's pretty similar.
New Hampshire low-key getting better.
Yeah. It's gotten really good over since it's lost its second race. It's gotten better, I guess.
New Hampshire is healing.
Yeah.
As is nature. So let's look at what some people thought here. Number one comment was from Shinobu D21. Says, all of NASCAR ignoring Eric Almirola. I played you like a set of spoons.
He did.
What?
Wait, what? Wait a minute.
A set of spoons.
We're just going to roll with it.
That was the most liked comment? Is this a TikTok trend I'm not aware of?
I don't know.
What's happening here? Why did everybody like that?
The kids, man. I don't know what these kids are talking about.
A set of spoons.
It was spoon.
I'm Eric Almirola. I'm playing you like a spoon. That's going on.
We should all go get spoons and try playing them in different ways. So.
That's what Danny was singing with.
I'll play YYZ with them. No, I immediately, you know what I thought of seeing Danny with the spoon was, you ever seen that one YouTube video where it's like the world's longest death, where he's just hitting the guy with the spoon over and over again, and he's
what?
So yeah, it's a comedic skit. This dude, it's like he just keeps hitting him with the spoon. He's like literally following him all over the world, and the spoon breaks, and he opens up his jacket, and it's full of just tons of different kinds of spoons. Look it up.
Gosh.
It's old school YouTube. So for
Classic.
a lot of people out there, look it up. It's funny and stupid and great.
Sounds like a Monty Python skit.
It really does.
By the way, someone asked if we use spoons to eat our croissants.
Someone said neon spoons.
But the way Dan is like, I'm playing you like a spoon.
I honestly don't. I need to find that. I'm gonna go find that comment for myself. I'm gonna study it.
Go
tonight.
find it. Yeah, go
what
find
the
it.
hell that means.
Mr. NASCAR JG24, Darian after Atlanta. Man, the cutoff battle is so boring now. Eric Almirola after nuking the playoff grid. Fine, I'll do it myself.
It's so exciting again. And it's against two teammates now, too. It's awesome.
Let's see. Caleb Leno says, Kyle Busch finishes last due to wreck. Cause of wreck, wet-ass pavement.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm looking at the comment. I have no idea why that has 94 thumbs up. I don't get it. I don't understand.
I don't know.
So I'm looking up what it means to play the spoons. It's like a traditionally folk music type thing. It's literally where they're just like clanking spoons. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess the
more you know.
Oh,
The more you know.
I didn't know that. Didn't know that.
Yeah, you can actually, after us, of course, there's a video on YouTube that says basics of playing the spoons. So,
wow.
Let's get to a few more of these comments, and we'll get on to the rest of the show. Ice Car says, Daytona, just wait until we get here. The playoffs will go into chaos. New Hampshire. That's cute. Now hold my beer.
Hey, it'll go into more chaos when Bubba Wallace wins Daytona.
Hold my spoons.
That'd be crazy.
P Pioneer says that saved Eric's career.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Tony's like, do it again.
Please do it again. Please, we need another one.
Let's see what else we got. There's a lot of repeats. I'm sorry, I'm not going to read every single one of everyone's comments. So, Denny Depression says New Hampshire is the most underrated NASCAR track.
That's like the dark version of Denny Delivers.
Oh, damn. Well, yeah, he is right though. But damn, that name. Damn, I wasn't ready for that. Denny Depression.
That's so stupid. I love
Danny
it.
Delivers, you doing okay, bud? You can message us if you want to.
Jesus, these names just keep.
I'm
going.
trying to find a comment not about Eric Almirola. It's actually
About
more
spoons.
difficult.
Yeah. What happened to the song lyrics we used to get?
Yeah, I miss the days of Wikipedia articles.
I know. All those
Obscure songs.
Now it's like Denny Depression.
Oh,
Damn.
Here we go. We found one. Gaming Boy says the racing overshadowed the drama at the start.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Oh, good. I would agree.
Yeah.
Let's scroll. I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom. We'll get like one or two more that are closer to the bottom that didn't get upvoted a ton. Atrocious and embarrassing opening laps of the race. Unacceptable. Ian Perez 48. I mean, I agree, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ian. Hi, Ian. I know who that is.
I like this. Joey Zelasco says, these polls suck. Every race cannot be good. A good race, statistically speaking. I'm from Maine. New Hampshire doesn't have a good racetrack.
Oh.
Jeez, whoa.
Well,
Hey, these polls don't suck.
Hey, here's something that New Hampshire has that Maine doesn't. A racetrack.
I'm not.
Oh,
The
ooh,
NASCAR track, I guess.
ooh.
I'm sure there's a racetrack in Maine.
I forget the state of Maine even exists sometimes, bro. I'm
be
just being
fair.
honest. I'm just being honest. I'm just
Do we
being
have
honest.
anyone from Maine watching? I'm actually curious. How
Hey,
many?
Danny's been to Maine, haven't you though?
When we went on our New England, we went on our New England trip. We spent 2 days in Portland, Maine. Enjoyed some awesome lobster. Honestly, I like Portland. It was a nice place. I think Maine's a place I like to go see more of. I want to go see a moose.
But they're so forgettable at the same time, though. That's the thing. I'm sorry. It's just is.
Wait a minute. I'm looking at the chat. Is there somebody that's? Hold on. They keep saying Ian. Is there somebody in the chat that's from Maine?
I think it was Ian was the comment you had.
No, Ian Perez. No, Ian Perez. No, I
48.
know him. No, I had
Okay.
said, oh, I know him. So yeah. No, not about the main one.
I'm trying. I'm not gonna read these long ass comments at the bottom. I'm sorry. I don't read books on this show. So that looked like it was negative. Let's see. All right. That's long.
Went through. Damn, we got whole novels.
Okay, let's
Cool.
do this one. This is the last one that isn't too long. I'm not gonna read something that's more than 3 sentences, honestly. From Cornholio, and this person has Beavis and Butthead as the profile pic. Is it positive or negative?
Negative. It's
That's negative.
bro.
Neutral.
Negative.
This race was honestly just terrible. Terrible
no.
officiating, terrible start, terrible. Happy for Almirola, however, the bitterness outweighed the sweetness today.
Okay, maybe that does
Almost.
kind of go into neutral. I don't know.
Almost. That
kinda-
last statement kind of skewed it negative again.
Edit.
Close.
There's an
I'm
edit
balanced.
to it. Edit.
Ooh.
Also not happy with the decision to shorten the race by 8 laps.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
it's-
some fans weren't happy about
officially
that.
negative.
Like some fans were like, "Well, no, there was still some light," but I mean, guys, it's like on TV, it looks different than in real life.
NASCAR did say the reason they might have gotten it wrong is because of tinted windows at New Hampshire, and I'm like, come on, guys, like.
What? Dude, you can't
Go
make this up.
outside.
You can't make this up. You can't make this
No,
up.
I didn't
bro.
see.
You
That's
can't
not.
make
That's
this
not
up.
a real explanation. There's no way that's what they actually said. There's no way they're that dense. That they
Some
would say that.
of I forgot which one it was. It might have been that one Miller dude.
Oh, don't tell me Scott Miller said that. Oh,
Yeah, I think he said that like New Hampshire. What was it? It was like unlike other tracks, New Hampshire Motor Speedway's PR boxes have more tinted windows, so it looks darker. And I'm like, What?
There's no way. That has to be. I'm gonna look that up. I gotta confirm that.
So you couldn't just radio to like the guy who still got the flag and saying, "Hey, is it dark out there?"
Bro, you go outside. You can't go outside for a second and be like, okay, is it?
No, it's not dark out here, boss. I look darker from the windows. It's not dark. It's dark. Okay.
Time to go, dude. You can't make this up. This is NASCAR officiating, bro.
Yeah,
this is NASCAR. You can't make this up. You can't make this up.
I'm laughing.
I'm losing hope fast.
I'm laughing at what Denny Delivers just said. Scott Miller, go touch grass immediately.
Somebody did he actually say it though? I need to know.
Yo, find this for us, please. It's confirming. Oh my god.
That's like when we'd be like, "Oh, it's bright out here. Oh, it looks fine to me."
Glasses off, dumbass. Like, they were too tinted.
Yep. Yeah, they're saying in the chat. They said that.
Oh my god. This is the circus. The circus is in town. The clown show.
I like giving NASCAR the benefit of the doubt, but that is bad.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that on that one.
I can, but no.
Not in this one. Not with this one. Not with this one.
That is a new low.
That is an all-time low.
Holy. By the way, I've been monitoring the chat. I don't think anyone in the chat's from Maine.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, nobody's from Maine. Nobody's from Maine, bro.
I mean, I date a girl from Maine.
But she doesn't live in Maine. She
doesn't live.
Maine is a fictional location.
Yeah.
Danny, you were on a hell of an acid trip or something when you were.
You were in a Stephen King book.
Hey, there you go. If you enjoyed Maine, you were on acid.
Oh my god.
All right, let's move to the Xfinity race. We don't have much to talk about, but we can continue one meme, and I'll get to it in a minute. But Christopher Bell dominated.
Yeah, everyone picked it. Everyone picked him to win. It was game over.
It about worked out in the Cup race.
And I think his last 3 Xfinity wins have come at New Hampshire too.
He's won 3 straight New Hampshire Xfinity races. Yeah.
He will probably end up getting a Cup win there at one point, I'd say.
Yeah, and he finished second, so it was overall an amazing weekend for him. So props.
Now, what I want to talk about here for a second is the fact of what Darian and I kept getting tagged in when we were at the fairgrounds. That Riley Herbst failed to capitalize on literally the driver he was chasing not even being at the track.
Bro, like,
I saw that and I couldn't believe it.
Dude, so like, wait, was that on the opening lap he wrecked, or was that like in the beginning of the race?
Yeah, because we were at the fairgrounds.
It was early in the race. It was a jack up on a restart. You know, he came back. Where did he end up finishing? Because he didn't end up getting destroyed in it. It wasn't his fault.
Yeah,
it was just bad luck. Of course, it would happen to Riley Herbst. And you could argue he was back in traffic because of, not doing well in recent races and hurting his finish. Where did he end up finishing, though?
Let's
find out. He ended up 10th.
There you go. That's 2 straight top 10s.
It wasn't terrible, but he still lost. He still did not make up nearly as much ground on the playoffs as he hoped.
Ever since I uploaded the Riley Herbst experience video, 2 straight top 10s now. Okay, let's go. He might be looking up.
We have such a low bar right now.
I hate piling on the guy. I
don't want to pile on him either, but when you drive a car that literally won over a quarter of the races in that series last year,
it's not a good look.
I'm expecting top 5s.
And then the only Cup guy that you might have been considered to be replacing went out and got the team their only win this season. So now you're like, you're probably not getting that, bud. Sorry.
Hey, Darian, by the way, Runnings Racing is in the chat right now. Said he sent you the link to the video of Scott Miller actually saying it.
Oh, okay. And
you got to play that on the stream.
Yeah, you got to play. Oh, God.
Runnings Racing said earlier, he asked you and me, Darian, if we coordinated the Richard Petty shirts. We did not.
Oh, no, we didn't. We didn't actually. No, it just happened. Okay, all right. Let me see. All right, he sent the clip. So you want me to play it over the
how long is it? Is it actually?
Yeah, how long? If it's like 20 seconds, just play it into your mic.
Yeah. Hold on. I don't know what it's. Oh, okay, hold on. It's having me go to the app.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, I'll read off the current cut line right now because I know you'll be bored by it. So with 7 races remaining before the Xfinity playoffs begin. Jeremy Clements is now up to 11th plus 50, and Michael Annett is the last guy in plus 32. 13th, Riley Herbst minus 32, and Brandon Brown is hanging in there minus 41. So
there you go.
Do we see any change that might happen with this?
Not really, unless a guy wins, like Eric Almirola, but I don't really see that happening in Xfinity.
They've got how many races do they have left? They have like 6 or 7 races left in their
7.
regular season. So there's still, I don't think anyone's safe. Even Clements plus 50. I don't know who's ahead of him off the top of my head, but it might be, no, I don't know who it is in 10th. But, I wouldn't say anyone's safe. I think Riley Herbst back-to-back top 10s. Michael Annett better not slouch when he comes back. He needs to be on his game, top 10 in the field of death like he's known to, if he wants to keep that playoff spot. So
I have the clip ready if you guys want me to play it.
Yeah, he says
Let's hear it.
15 seconds in is around when he says
All right, let's do it.
By the time we got the facility dry enough to resume competition, we knew we were going to be up against darkness. Depending on cautions and the rest of that, we knew it would be close. So at the end of the second stage, we let the teams know so that it didn't affect any of their strategy that we were definitely up against darkness. It could have come earlier if there had been more cautions.
Yeah.
So we just felt like it was getting too dark and we needed to call it. Really just as simple as that.
I'm gonna move it back.
We rely on the communication from the teams and the spotters. They were about half thumbs up and half thumbs down. We have tinted glass on the front of the tower, and it's much harder for us to see out. So it became started to become a little bit like.
This is a joke. This is a joke.
That's bad.
No, he literally said it's harder for us to see out. Then go out to see out.
Well, in fairness, it sounds like he's admitting that it was hard for us to see from our spot, so we were relying on the spotters and the team.
Okay, but it's just
That's
funny.
a
It's
little
just
better.
funny though.
Yeah,
There's
Darren,
a little better.
your mic is like peeking way out, man.
It is. It's because of the video.
Like it rose as that video came.
I don't know what the deal is. Let me fix it.
It was building to the climax of the video.
Because I didn't turn it up. I didn't turn it up
No,
at all.
I know. It's still funny.
I was sitting there like my ears are hurting.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
I can't believe, like, literally,
It's just-
you didn't have
that's
to
funny.
say that.
I know. It's just, but the way he's like, well, it's so hard to see. You're like, oh my god, dude.
It's like,
I think he's gained some credibility back by saying that the teams were saying about 50-50 yes or bad, and I think that's when NASCAR decided to make the call. So at least
I know.
I'll give him that. I will give him that. But still, yeah, he could have just like
I mean, I could look out my window, and if you ask me, does it look dark? Yeah, it's getting dark. Yeah, it's getting dark.
Well, it's actually sunny for the first
Like,
time. It's been cloudy all day.
I can still look out and see my neighbor's house, but I mean, it's getting dark.
Yeah, but
send the intern out into the grandstands. Jimmy, go check it. Is it bright outside?
Thanks to Runnings Racing, by the way, and it was also great to see him at the fairgrounds. That'd be a perfect segue, hopefully.
Yeah. Well,
I think so.
Speaking of the fairgrounds, let's get right into it. Danny, I want you to start us off. What you thought about the fairgrounds? We had Elliott versus Elliott. We had tons of great racing. No Karens in sight.
Welcome to Nashville, folks. What a glorious sight this was. Eric, you've got to go see an SRX race next year. I know you're tired from your travels, but gosh, I wish you were there because you need to go experience what SRX is like. Actually, as soon as the podcast is over, I actually was at the beginning of the show. I was uploading it. It's going to go live, I think, at 9:15 Central Time, so 10:15 Eastern Time. So basically, right after the podcast, my vlog from the SRX race is going to go out.
Nice.
So if you want to watch it later, it'll be available, or you can watch it tomorrow. But if you want to see what it is like as from a fan's experience, that video will be a good way to let you see that. And let's talk about the experience though. And I think I got to say, I don't know how the other guys felt. As far as fan interactions go, SRX, in my opinion, has the lead on that for the most part. We did run into a few contradicting people who was basically like, who I saw they kept chasing us away from certain spots and
get back.
And they were. I saw some of them acting like fans weren't allowed to be around the drivers, but then the drivers, when they were around you, they were completely fine with it. They enjoyed it.
They walked up to it. I saw Bobby Labonte literally walk into a crowd of people so he could sign as many autographs.
I shook Willie T. Rib's hand.
Oh,
Same.
Willie T was awesome. He said, at one point I remember he come over to pit wall and he grabbed me by my shoulder and was like yeah man. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I saw that. He literally he climbs over using Danny's shoulder. He goes, "Yeah, man," and then keeps walking. And I'm like, that was weird. But
I was like, yay.
He's just happy to be there, man. But
yeah, I mean, walking down the front stretch, I got to like shake Bill Elliott's hand, talk to Darrell Waltrip. There
we
was
talked to
Tony
Johnny
Stewart.
Benson.
Yeah.
Johnny Benson.
I didn't post a picture, but I tried to say hello to Bobby Labonte, and he was just like, I don't know what kind of zone he was in, but the picture, I'm like smiling, and he's like,
Yeah, he's serious.
I was like, okay, I'm not posting a picture of Bobby Labonte.
But for those who don't know, Johnny Benson is the SRX pace car driver, or was this weekend. And, like, it was cool to talk to him and stuff, and he was talking about his championships and stuff. So it was awesome.
Ultimate 23 Dragon, you need to go to an SRX race next year just to say pace car driver.
Well,
Yeah,
I wanted
just
to
to see.
ask because I hope I'm allowed to say this, but you guys had media access for the SRX race, so
That was thanks in part to Scott Minlin. Oh, he is the general manager of the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. So
Thank
thanks
you.
to him for helping us out with that.
well, I just wanted to ask you guys had media access. So how many like just normal fans were able to get as close to a lot of the drivers as you guys were?
Honestly,
as many as
honestly,
they wanted.
as long as they didn't say anything to you and you went right up for Fritter, like as long as you didn't do something stupid, you could do whatever you want to, basically.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you could tell some of the other guys.
Did you need like a special pass to get in, or
So they gave everyone wristbands. Now the media ones were like more solid white, whereas like a regular fan one was like white with like some orange in there. So it made a difference. Like it was different for what it was.
You know what I'm thinking about. Who I'm thinking about with this? Don't you guys?
I don't know what are you.
Who was
talking
with
about?
with us that got fan access?
I think I have an idea.
You know.
I wasn't there.
We had a friend there with us who didn't realize you could just show them the ticket.
Oh yeah,
So we won't get
Okay.
into that, but that was
We're
fun.
not gonna say the name. He overpaid. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
Because like if you showed them your ticket, you got like $25 or like $30.
They charged him 50.
Yeah.
We'll tell you. We'll tell you after, Eric.
I think I know.
But
I won't guess.
Hey, either way though, let me go back to what I was saying though. We had media access, but we're YouTubers, and I vlog while I'm at the races. I wouldn't look natural wearing a polo and khaki. Like we saw, we saw Adam Stern there at the race. We saw Jeff Gluck at the race. They are reporters, and that's what they've been doing for a long time. That's how they are known to look and appear at the race. If I start vlogging dressed like that, that's gonna look weird.
Well, look, it's a different thing. Yeah.
At the Nashville Cup race, me and Claudia wore those NASCAR polos, but that was still something that said NASCAR, and we still had on shorts. So basically, we looked like we were fans, which we are, but we're in a weird way. Like we're not gonna dress a certain way. So basically, we kept getting asked to leave the SRX area because we didn't look like media members, and they didn't even look at our.
And I was like, we're wristband right here.
It wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just some weird like stereotype type thing going on there. I think
It wasn't a big deal at all.
It wasn't a big deal.
it wasn't a big deal, but you knew it was there.
It was.
I just wanted to know how, because there were 14,000 fans there, at least according to estimates. I can't imagine there were 14,000 people in the pits. But are you guys telling me that anyone could come in as long as there was space, or did you?
Yeah,
No,
if they
I mean,
paid, they could come in.
If you
Yeah.
paid for the access, you could be in there.
But
It's
like,
a long walk though. It's a long walk to get into the pits though.
is
Yeah,
it
ain't that bad.
a general admission ticket can get you into pit road, or do you
No.
need to buy a special ticket?
You need to buy an actual pit pass to get into the pit
Okay,
area.
that's what I was trying to get at. But it, because they have those in NASCAR and they're a little extra.
But
It sounds like it was worth it. It sounds like it was really
they are
worth it.
cheap as crap. Like to get pit access for NASCAR, you need to either know someone with NASCAR, know someone with the track, or know someone with a team. For this, any fan can get pit access.
Yeah. Just don't overpay it though. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was.
But even then, that was still cheaper than what you could buy it from someone on a team with a NASCAR team.
He laughs in the chat. You just got to pull the influencer card.
Dude, yeah, the influencer, dude.
That doesn't
I have never told anybody at the racetrack, yeah, we're influencer. I have never said that in my life.
That's
Never.
like Voldemort, man. That's like
The influencer. Ooh, like it's just I don't want to be.
Well, I will say it was really cool. They're definitely with NASCAR. In my opinion, NASCAR is probably going to be going there. They definitely got to figure out what to do in the fan zone, because like what was really cool with the fan zone is that you could go in either side. It was right behind the grandstand, And what they had is they had all like these tents along where the grandstand was, and then a bunch of haulers in the back and haulers down the middle. So you basically just walk one big circle. They had Dale Earnhardt's 1995 IROC car there.
And they had an Indy car there too. They were also promoting for the National GP.
They showed that on
August
TV
8th.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, they had quite a few things over there, but that was a tiny area. And you'll see this in my vlog if you guys go check it out after the show. It was tiny, and I think me and Jarrett was talking about this. If NASCAR ends up going there in the future, your fan zone will not be at that track. I can already tell you that.
And also it was cool to see the soccer stadium up close in person, because those same Karens complaining about the fairgrounds, they're going to be even more angrier when there's 30,000 people at the soccer stadium.
That place is bigger than I thought it was going to be.
And also, do you know how loud a freaking soccer stadium is? Like, have you guys watched MLS games? These fans go nuts, man. So they go nuts.
People watch MLS? No, I'm kidding. No, that's going right.
Only a few.
Maybe that's why the Karens aren't considered. People watch that.
Wait, what is that? One look at NASCAR's ratings last 20 years, and we shouldn't be making that.
No. Going back to the racing, what was really cool too is that no matter where you were in the track, or around the track, I should say, you were like right on top of everything. Like I had this picture I took of the Elliots racing against each other, which was really cool because family. I didn't really zoom in or anything. I was right there. We actually at one point were like, we could just like run right out into turn 3 right here. Like there's nothing stopping us. There's no security.
We were just chilling.
One of y'all said that at Road America too. I'm worried about you guys.
I think like a crazy fan to record.
They're not wrong. Again, Eric, when you see some of the shots that I got, you're gonna be amazed that I got something that close. So.
Well, it was cool. Like there really wasn't a bad seat in the house. I was getting content, turns 3 and 4. Then I would walk all the way to turns 1 and 2.
We made the broadcast.
Yeah, we kept making the broadcast if you just look really closely. And find us.
And then I think before the race started, I know someone said they saw me right behind Bill Elliott or something like that. So
and then
I saw a slap video bomb Stewart at the end of the race. Goofy boy. You talk about the up close feeling. Like the closest thing I can say I've come to that was at Slinger a couple years ago for the Slinger Nationals, and that's a quarter-mile track. How big is the fairgrounds?
It's just a little. It's a 5/8 mile.
Okay, so that's math in my head. That's like
just a little bit more than a half.
It's like 6/10 of a a mile, give or take.
Yeah, something like that.
And also, the SRX wasn't the only thing racing. There was the late model series there too.
The CRA Masters of Pro.
But they looked really pissed off that they had to stop the race halfway.
They were.
We had a crew member talking to us, and they were mad. They literally had to wait 2 hours to finish their race because of CBS.
Let's stick with SRX. I want to talk about the overall season overall. Like give like an A, B, C, D, or F grade. Like, what's your grade overall, one at a time, on the SRX this season?
Okay, I'll go first. I'll give it an A-. Just overall, it was awesome. Like the way they paid homage to IROC throughout the season, having, the show cars and stuff. And, the very beginning, having the guy, the founder of IROC say, "Gentlemen, start your engines." That was an awesome start. And then, the racing product, overall, though, it can be improved. It can be improved because, even at the fairgrounds, Jared and I, we talked about it for a little bit there. It was getting single file at some parts in the race too. It was kind of looking like it was a bit hard to pass there. So they got to fix that a tad. But, overall, the star power was awesome. Now, I know a lot of people were kind of like, conflicted with, some other drivers being in. Like, I remember when Haley Deegan first got announced, they were like, "Oh, well, she's not, like, this is the Superstar Series, like, she's not a champion, like, blah, blah," and, all that stuff. But, overall, it was awesome. She was running good, which is great for the series. Tony Stewart, the founder, I just thought it was funny. Tony Stewart makes a whole league to basically give himself another championship. So we have a stat pattern here. No, I'm playing. But, Stewart, make you champion, right? No. No, he's gonna come after me for that. But no, Tony Stewart, like, and Ray Abraham here, they really hit on something big.
Marco Andretti got a win in this.
Yeah, Marco Andretti won. Just it was awesome. Yeah, and then also, the local guys, the local drivers, like having a local driver win your first race. Awesome.
Your first winner was Doug Coby, and he ended up getting a truck race offer after that. Like that jump started his career some more.
Yeah, for Bristol.
He raced in that modified race at New Hampshire as well this weekend, and it was just it was interesting because I'd never really heard of Doug Coby until that SRX race. I was watching the modified tour and I was like, hey, there's Doug Kobe. Let's see how he does.
Yeah.
Just kind of amazing, that name recognition.
But SRX names are made here.
I mean, honestly, though.
But overall, though, I mean, I give it an A- just because they need to adjust. They need to fix the racing product a tad, though. They need to fix that, and then get some more recognizable names within motorsports.
I do got to say this though, and I saw it there in person. And Eric, I know you saw this tweet that I put out. When I was there watching this, I felt like I was watching a mixture of racing and WWE because I felt
that's another thing.
I felt sports entertained. That's how I felt. And I felt that it was going to go down the way it did from the very minute that we saw them getting Bill Elliott out of the car. He came in and putting him into a new car because Ray Abraham wanted this to be.
Which they made that public so we could talk about it now. We were wondering about that.
Okay.
They talked about it, yeah.
He wanted this to be a race between Chase and Bill. And they say it's random draw how the heat start out. How is it that how did those two get on the front row?
Tony gave up his spot. He drew second, I think, and he gave it to either Bill or Chase, whoever didn't draw.
Hey, it's all part of the show. They get it.
This is very. I hate to say it because the race is good, but it is like a WWE type of racing feel.
So what
go back to the dirt races. I mean, Tony Stewart was letting the field catch him in 2 dirt races. So there's a little bit of that. Going back to your question, Jared, I'd give it an A-. I was kind of the same as Darian, honestly, because I think, I don't know if you guys noticed this, because I don't know if they said this every week. If they did, I missed it, but they said it during this week's broadcast. Lindsay Zarniak described the series as where racing and entertainment collide. That was like the tagline for it. And I'd never heard them use that phraseology. Like, obviously we could see it for ourselves, fun flags, spec cars, all this stuff. Like, it's not the purest form of racing, but early on it felt like they were trying to brand themselves as old school short track racing, no gimmicks, no confusing points, blah, blah, blah. And they clearly got away from that once the season actually started. But I think they knew what they wanted to be by the time Stafford finally rolled around. I think they knew what they wanted to be, and they achieved that. Racing was extremely entertaining, albeit a little forced at times, as I think Danny's mentioning right there. But it was something different, and it filled a gap in the American motorsports schedule where, think about it, the Indy 500 was over. NASCAR doesn't really have much going on in the months of June and July, like Pocono doubleheader, another Atlanta race. Other than Road America, there wasn't a whole lot going on in the NASCAR schedule that was that exciting. So they filled a void in the motorsports calendar, and so I think they did a really good job in that respect.
Absolutely, yeah. Just I feel like they need more guys like if they can if Jimmy Spencer or let's say Robbie Gordon joined the series, oh my goodness, now that would be very entertaining too. Which also, by the way, I called Paul Tracy the most down bad driver in the series after I got my picture with him too. So
I can verify that.
Yeah, he was there.
I do
down bad.
I do want to ask y'all, is there ever a point where I would start getting concerned for SRX? Yes, and that would be if for any weird reason they started having a celebrity racer entry. Like,
I don't think they do
something stupid like here's The Rock gonna race.
No.
That'd be cool though.
No way.
Tom Cruise driving a race car.
Well, Tom Cruise has tested an F1 car before.
He does his own stunts.
Have one SRX car that's like an automatic or just a little bit easier to drive or something like that.
Stability mode turned on.
I mean, Vince Neil used to race Indy Lights, so maybe get him. Singer of Motley Crue.
Who was the guy in Grey's Anatomy that used to race in the sports cars?
I've never seen Grey's Anatomy.
I've never seen it either.
I can't remember his name. He was a main character.
Hey, the dude from Malcolm in the Middle, the main guy, he used to race a little bit.
So Danny, what's your letter grade? Because I gave it an A-. I think they should do like less fun flags. That's my big thing. That and racing.
Yeah, A-. Like when I was watching the solid racing between Chase and Bill and Chase and Tony, it was getting really good right when those we'll call them I don't even call them fun flags. I call them media timeouts. Right when the media timeouts came out, it was racing was getting really good, and I felt like the caution shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Eric, I saw in your video you the title of it, you asked what can NASCAR learn from it. Now I want you to kind of start us off with what you were thinking, because There's one big thing. You had it at the end. I've been a proponent of this for years, but maybe SRX has gotten you on my side with it.
Wow. So you're talking about the shortening of the schedule?
Yep.
So that's the one that I'm the most on the fence about still, because I kind of narrowed it down to 4 big things that I think NASCAR could take from the SRX, or NASCAR / network, the networks, because I think the networks play a role in this as well, could take from the SRX. I'll let you talk about that one a little bit more because I'm a little more on the fence. But for me, the big thing is that, for the SRX sold me that you can have an eventful, exciting motorsports, like oval stock car racing event, and keep it, short. I don't think NASCAR Cup races should all be under 2 hours, but I think every race outside of a couple crown jewels should be under 3 hours. Like, there's no excuse that a race at Texas running over 3 hours long. Like, that's absurd.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, nobody's going to want to watch that. So I think shorter races is a big one. I think CBS showed what motorsports broadcast should look like. In other words, not interrupting green flag action to show full.
But Eric, I want to see the skits during the race. I want to see all the skits and stuff.
See, I understand you got to pay the bills, but there needs, when the new TV contract gets worked out, there needs to be something mixed in there to prevent racing action from being interrupted as frequently as it is now.
Even then, like, I noticed that they didn't use any kind of too flashy graphics package or anything like that. It wasn't anything too crazy either.
Yeah, it was nice.
But I thought everyone did a great job. I'll let you hear your takes on this. Now, you guys didn't watch the race this weekend, so maybe your memory won't be as good, but I thought watching the race, Alan Bestwick and James Hinchcliffe are the best broadcasting duo in motorsports.
Yeah,
right
I heard you talking about
awesome
that earlier,
things.
And it's I haven't had a chance to sit down and go back and rewatch that race of how it looked on broadcast, but I probably will do that tomorrow while I'm working.
They're just so smooth, and Hinchcliffe, for someone who hasn't driven fully fendered stock car type cars much or at all in his career, he was providing some good insight, man. Like, I was impressed, and he did so without the Darrell Waltrip-isms or the Clint Boyer-isms. He did so without stumbling over his words, a la Dale Jr. or Rick Allen. I was just impressed with how smooth they both were, how comfortable they both were, and how good the information was.
He will be an amazing IndyCar commentator if he ever decides to do that full time. James Hinchcliffe. Hey, maybe he's thinking about it, for the future. So, but Alan Bestwick, man, please, like, we need to see him in some capacity and in either NASCAR or IndyCar in the future, because SRX is going on, but it's only 6 races. I want to hear AB commentate a full IndyCar season or a full NASCAR season.
Yeah. On that note, going back to what y'all were saying about the schedule, I'm on a contrary. I felt like 6 races was not near enough for that. I think that should be bare.
They need to up it up a little.
That should be bare minimum a 10 race schedule.
I think there's most.
I think
I don't think. See, Tony Stewart's championship, 6 races is not enough to really build up and legitimize that.
Well, no one really let's be real. No one really cared about the championship.
I think the vibe I got was SRX was like, look, this is for fun, but hey, here's a championship.
I didn't know that there was even points being awarded until like the 5th race of the year. Yeah. I didn't care. No, I don't think anyone like. I think keeping it short and sweet, because we're all like, you're wanting more because of how good it was. He's leaving you wanting more, and I guarantee you'll watch the next year. And I think, John freaking Madden is the same way with it.
So this means Tony Stewart clickbaited me.
No, yeah, maybe so.
But it worked.
If it were the case of like legitimizing a championship, then yeah, I would see them adding more races. But they don't care. They don't really care about it. I don't think.
I don't think that.
I think at the very most 8 races is fair. I think that's fair, right?
I think 8 at the most.
6, 8, 10, whatever. We're only playing a difference of 4 races right there. So
that's a month's difference, though. Like,
exactly. Give me more.
Yeah, more.
That's the thing. You want more. That's why having less is more. Like, you want it more.
I want to see.
I'm thinking as like an entertainer here. Like,
business. Yeah.
I'm just like, I want to see these guys keep going at it on different tracks, and also, do you go to the same tracks every year? Like, do they even go to these same 6 tracks every year?
I had an idea I put in my video. Even if you keep these same 6 tracks and you have like, or you keep 4 of the same. An idea I have, because all of these tracks are well known, whether in dirt racing or short track racing. Go to somewhere that like nobody knows.
Hey, like, you mentioned Rockford. That'd be fun.
I keep talking about the track where I grew up at. It's such a unique little gem, that 1/3 30-degree bank Tazewell Speedway.
There you go.
Give it some exposure on national television.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say this. I know this is technically an SMI track, but the bull ring out here. This is our only local, racetrack out here and stuff. But I don't know if that would happen because SMI and all that.
If ratings for an SRX race, what's the most they've hit? 1.5 million this year.
It's been pretty good. Like
they average around 1.3.
That's good.
If they can start hitting 2.5, then I say they need to try at least once a race at Bristol to see if they can come close to even getting a big crowd.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that, but
I don't think they'll get a big crowd, but I think they'll get a big crowd on TV for sure. Like I think the TV ratings would go up for that. Now I want to go back NASCAR wise. I have been somebody who is completely fine if NASCAR, goes to a 32 race schedule or a 30 race schedule. Because it seems like there's just that lull of like 6 weeks in the summer where just, even if there's great racing like New Hampshire, even if there's, great racing like we saw for the most part at Road America, where just fans tune out.
So are you saying to give them a summer vacation?
No, I am not. I am saying you compact that baby down. You start the Daytona 500 in March, you end by the end of September. That way you have, 6 months of the year. So there's an entire half year without it. You're leaving fans wanting more. People out, because this is the thing, I have a lot of people I know, whether from friends of mine or people that my family knows, who used to be really into NASCAR. And around 2009, 2010, they got out of it. And I asked, what was it? Is it because of the TV? Is it because of the tickets? What is it? And they said, nah, it just went on forever. The middle of the season, I just don't care. And then I find out with 5 weeks left, oh yeah, the end of the season's coming up. I think you can eliminate that with taking 4 to 6 races out of the schedule that you don't need, going to more places once a year. I think it would make the overall product better because you can have more of a diversity of tracks. And I think that marketing-wise, it can be better because, one, if these people pay the same amount that they're paying now, which I don't think they will, you'd get more bang for your buck. And you'd probably get better broadcasts, too, especially if, say, Fox goes from broadcasting 16 races a year to 13 again. I think that you'll see a difference in the broadcast quality. And you would have more races percentage-wise of the schedule on the big networks.
Hey, Jared, that's actually fair enough. I'm actually going back in here. I'm looking at the 2009 schedule and what that used to look like. And let's start after Coke 600. I feel like that's when, hype is pretty good. Coke 600. Oh, congrats, David Redman. You won Coke 600 because it rained.
Junior finished 42nd, bro. He's so bad.
Nice Mickey win. Okay, let's get rid of that. Then we go Dover, Pocono, Michigan, Sonoma, New Hampshire. Yay, Daytona! Chicagoland, Indianapolis, Pocono, Watkins Glen, Michigan. Then we're at Bristol. That's a period where there's only a few of those you really wanted to see.
Yeah.
No,
so
I'm with you, Jared. I'm with you that NASCAR could benefit from shortening the schedule a bit. I don't know about March to September. I feel like February, Daytona 500 February should probably stay about where it's at. Still end in September.
So maybe towards the end of February, perhaps. They say.
I mean, it's always fluctuated about a week or so every year. So wherever in that same range, I think the Daytona 500 is in a good spot. But it's the same thing like you're saying, Danny. I love watching the SRX. I'd gladly watch 5 more SRX races this year. I gladly would, but just like I'd watch 50 NASCAR races probably. I may not watch all, but I'd watch a lot of NASCAR.
I would.
Well, Eric, you would for your job, you would.
Well, yeah, I'd be wore out, but I would watch every. But I do think NASCAR needs to create some of that artificial demand that the SRX was able to create by making their product kind of feel like a limited commodity, a limited edition thing where if you
I will
catch
say
it while it's in town, you're not going to see it for a year.
It's like when I saw my very first NASCAR race. It is. I feel like I'm more compelled to the series now that I've seen it in person, and I do want to see more of it next year.
Yeah, I'd say the 28 to 32 race range for the Cup Series is something they should shoot for. Meanwhile, in IndyCar, they need to freaking add more races. I'd say, I don't know how. I think IndyCar has 17 races. 17. It's way too short. I think at least 20 for the future would do well for them. So, yeah, it's somewhere around there. It's way too short, basically. But yeah,
the big thing for NASCAR is less off weekends. I know that the teams want a summer off weekend, but it always kills the momentum both that you're getting on the track and with storylines, and a lot of times it kills the momentum with ratings. I mean,
and I think to make up,
don't help the
Hey,
sport.
and on the subject of rating, I've seen someone in the chat ask us, what do we think about midweek racing? I think last year proved to us that should not that will not work. That will not work.
Do it with the All-Star race. I mean, the All-Star race has been so watered down. I don't think it deserves its own weekend to completely take a break off of it.
Just let us get through Texas in the middle of the week and forget it happened.
I say bring it back to Charlotte and do it the Saturday night before the 600.
The Bowman Grave, in a dream world.
I just realized, what if Atlanta doesn't get that second summer day and they get the All-Star race?
I could see that.
If it's for the All-Star race and they get what they want, then sure, it's the All-Star race. Who cares? But if we don't have anything else to add, we can jump over to the mailbag really quick. We have more time to play with since we don't have picks, and most of the topics are short.
I forgot about that. That's right.
No, guys, we're picking every Olympic sport.
Oh my God!
But I don't even like the Olympics.
I was seeing somewhere like they might even like call the Olympics or whatever. Like they might not happen. It's still a possibility apparently. So.
Has the U.S. basketball team won a game yet?
Yes, they have. They beat Argentina.
Wait,
I think.
So
recently.
if they call the Olympics, does Japan win by default?
I mean, they had to waste the money to put it on. So
hey, they built the trophies, so they're just
Japan gets a Mickey win.
Another Mickey.
All right, well let's get to the mailbag question here. Remember, weekly podcast guest at gmail.com, all lowercase letters. In a moment here, I'll put that in the chat for y'all.
I have to. I'm doing it for you.
Well, I'm gonna do it too. Let's just
race to it. Do it.
My mouse. I can't find my mouse.
While we're doing that, let me read this off from Gavin Adcock. He asked us, what is your least favorite paint scheme in NASCAR history? I know it is special to Rick Hendrick, but I personally don't like Larson's HendrickCars.com paint scheme. So thank you, Gavin.
Thank you. Somebody else agrees with me. Same as Gavin. Special, but I don't like it. Looks better on the 5 than it did on the 24, though. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's not my least favorite, though. It's not my least favorite.
R.I.P. Ricky. R.I.P. to Ricky Hendrick. Though. But anyways, as far as the worst paint schemes, dang, like
JTG has a lot.
They have a lot of bad ones. Yeah,
but they also have a lot of good ones. So
yeah,
it's.
That Newman Oscar Mayer car Atlanta was really bad.
Oh yeah. Like why?
That's bad.
Why did they do that? I don't know why they did that.
I know I got a lot of hate for it, but the context of it, I don't
what he said?
I don't hate. But that yellow with the blue numbers Chase Elliott car, I know that it was a tribute, but I wish
to his cousin. It was a tribute to his cousin.
That was a throwback weekend scheme, though, right? I think you can't count throwback weekend schemes.
He still.
He was asking our least favorite paint scheme ever.
I guess.
I don't think it's my least one ever, though.
So Eric doesn't like the Ricky Hendrick RIP scheme, and then Jared doesn't like the Casey Elliott scheme. Damn.
I mean, they wanted a brutal honesty.
I know. It's just funny in the context.
I just point out because I remember I've said that before, and a lot of people got on me because they're like, "How dare you?
How dare you?"
I'm not the only one. I'm just saying.
I think I actually have mine. And it's mainly because he had so many great paint schemes in the past. And this sponsor had so many great paint schemes in the past of another driver. Jeff Gordon's 3M car. That was awful.
Yeah.
I think I got mine. Martin Truex Jr., I hated his in particular, but every Chevy I hated in this one. Martin Truex Jr.'s 57 Chevy throwback looked atrocious.
Yeah, those were like. That's because they were racing in Michigan, I guess. But
that is the only one of those diecasts that I have. It's the color chrome version. That is the only one.
All the Chevys ran it that weekend.
Well, it was the 50-year anniversary to 57 Chevy, which is a beautiful car, by the way, and they completely bastardized the look with it with cup cars.
Yeah, but and what made it even worse was like you had to wait like 2 extra days for the race to get in. Like they didn't finish the race until like Tuesday or Wednesday.
It was nuts. Race till Tuesday.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Oh, that was bad.
I actually just noticed a few people in the chat are pointing out the one that most people know I hate is the Speedy Cash green car with the tiny names at the end.
And the Harvick Millennial scheme. Like I like the Gen X.
That one's bad.
The Gen X one's good.
But see, that one was supposed to look bad.
That was for the memes.
Yeah.
Basically.
No, but the Speedy Cash, it just looks cheap and bad and ugly and horrible and terrible.
Well, one that I get, it doesn't look great, but I just hate it because of the meaning of it. Stenhouse's throwback from this year. I just hate it because it's not a throwback and they tried to make it a throwback.
They tried to slap. No, it was funny. In the post, they tried to slap Ricky Craven's like 2002 scheme. You're like, yeah, it's a throwback. Hey, like, no, it's not.
They literally have before that had ran a Kroger Tide car that looked better. It looked better.
Don't get me started on that. Like, no, it's a throwback. It's a throwback, guy. Like, it's not.
Hey, I know what you're about to point to, Eric. Even then, they just stole that from Roush.
That's what I was gonna say. Their best paint scheme of the year was made famous by Roush.
They're like, hey, just copy what Roush did, bro.
Look, they just slapped the Kroger on the front, like, bam, it's ours.
Oh my God, JTG, like, come on, man, step up the paint schemes, my guy.
Yeah, well,
I feel like we have to blame Kroger for it. I think it's all Kroger's fault.
Stupid Kroger.
Darn you, Kroger.
Stupid sponsors that pay the bills, but you won't let them be creative.
But you are where we buy our groceries from, so.
Honestly,
I have never seen a Kroger out in Vegas in my life, ever. It's just a.
And you never will now.
Never will. I never will.
Nevermore. Well, thank you.
Moving on.
Thank you, Gavin. Remember, weeklypodcastguest@gmail.com. The quicker you leave it, the more chance you have of your question being answered on here. But we're now going to be going into another great segment here, the lightning round, which is brought to you by Lionel. And this is not a bad looking paint scheme. But yeah, Lionel the official NASCAR diecast provider. You can get any diecasts that are coming out. Are there any new ones coming out pretty soon? Because I hear there were some different ones. Like, I know there's the Gregson one that had come out. Like,
yeah. I am excited because the
Metal,
Eric
right?
Almirola race win car that just came out, or that he just won in, that's not gonna be out for several months, is gonna have confetti on it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen many race wins with confetti. This
Yeah,
year.
I think they started like Atlanta. Atlanta was like the first normal race. They had normal driver introductions, and they had confetti on Kurt Busch's car. He didn't get as much on it, but there was confetti for Almirola too. So I think they're going back to normal on that stuff.
And
This is the one. Oh, go ahead.
Well, and on top of that, I believe with the 164s, they have metal on the bottom now instead of plastic, and rubber wheels, which is really cool to see. Like, that throws me back to like the golden days of.
But
diecasts.
it's a limited quantity of those though.
Still, it's good.
It's awesome.
It's a good step. But
by the way, Darren, you were about to say, what size is that diecast?
It's a 143 scale at JP's NASCAR outlet. I found this only $5 I had to pay for this. A 143 scale. These are rare, man, and maybe they should bring them back. It's pretty cool. But it's Bill Elliott's 1997 scheme from his team.
Jarrett, what is that from 07 or 06?
2007 Casey
yeah.
Mears National Guard scheme with the proper 25 font. Michael Carey will love that.
Yeah,
I have absolutely loved this scheme forever, but every time I went online to find it, it was completely overpriced because I am not paying more than $40 for a Casey Mears car. Sorry, Kamikaze. But I will say, like, I found this for $10 at the Nashville Super Speedway tent vendors, and I had to get it, and it's just such a beautiful car. Like, I wish they would throw back to this car at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the Holy Grail, Danny.
I cannot say that I spent $40 on this one. I spent a lot more than that, but I got this one for a steal for what it had been going for. 2000. I've always wanted this car. 2009, I went to my first race at Bristol, and I was a Dale Jr. fan, so I needed someone to root for, so I ended up rooting for the 88, which was Brad Keselowski in the GoDaddy car. I thought the paint scheme looked amazing in person, and I ended up rooting for Brad the rest of that season. He got like four wins, a few of them in this GoDaddy scheme that year, and I found this one at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway for $100, autographed. It's autographed in black. I have a thing for getting black autographs here lately. But it looks amazing, and I will not ever let this one go.
But it also has like the different paint materials, doesn't it, Danny? Like the green one. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a very unique paint to get that. That is authentic to what the GoDaddy's car looked like.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, so mine's not a real car. This was one that was sent to me by George.
Made.
I don't know if I hold it up. Is it going to be too bright? It's
see.
got the Out of the Groove logo on it.
Wow.
Groovy Gang on the side. This is an incredible custom job.
Have you posted any good pictures of these online?
This one I have not yet. No.
You need to put that on Instagram, Twitter, whatever.
Yeah, you need to put that
absolutely.
up.
Oh, I
there.
will. No, I definitely will. But
Out of
it
the
looks
groove
fantastic.
racing. Groovy.
My favorite
gate.
part, I don't know if you can see it on the C post there. It's got the groovy gauge.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
Shout out again to George for sending me this. They built on the shell, obviously, of an authentic Lionel Toyota Camry diecast. But we all love collecting diecast here, so it's great to have them supporting.
Well,
Awesome.
you know who else does? Also, I saw in the chat is Original Big Bry. He's in the chat. Diecast. So
nice.
I'm a fan.
If you want a good channel for diecast, he's your guy right there.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what's up.
But thanks to Lionel for sponsoring the lightning round. Right,
Thanks,
right
guys.
there. Right, Darian?
It's the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. What do we have on tap on this off weekend?
Eric got nailed by the lightning.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
Oh, no, I did too. Darn.
quick! I gotta get out of here.
Oh my god.
Oh, now Darian got hit right at the same time.
Sabotage.
I survived.
Oh,
But what do we have on tap tonight, though?
All right. So, Discount Tire will sponsor both the 2 and 12 cars next year, according to Bob Pockris.
12. That's gonna look nice.
How the hell do I say this? Is it Roof Mortgage? Or
yeah.
I think it's Rofe Mortgage. I think.
Roof Mortgage.
Rofe.
A mortgage company is replacing Gatorade as a sponsor of Victory Lane, starting at Watkins Glen.
Gatorade Victory Lane had such a good ring to it.
Why couldn't it have been Body Armor, man?
Now, I get roasting is that they're attaching the phrase "Welcome home" when you come to Victory Lane.
Yeah.
I guess that's clever. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but yeah.
Boo. Body Armor should have been. Come on. Step it up.
IndyCar will have its own game next year, and this is something I found very interesting. With I believe GMS is moving to Cup, right?
Yes.
Now listen to this. Sheldon Creed says he definitely will not do another truck season and will not become a lifer. Said this to Davey Siegel on his podcast.
Well, just because he says that doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, he's in that driver's edge program, and GMS has a spot.
He's a very intriguing prospect too. I mean, he is a Truck Series champion. You know, he has amazing background on the dirt. So, I mean, as far as like a Cup Series ride next year, I don't know about that. We'll see though.
Kelly Earnhardt Miller says that JRM will not go to Cup until 2023, quote, at the earliest, for Bob Pockris.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh my God. Kevin Harvick has zero interest in buying JTG. By the way, that was in the rumor mill last week.
That's a rumor.
There's no big rumors that have come out this week, so we might have to put that on hiatus for a week. But
yeah.
From Kavana, not Carvana. Funny. That actually was very funny.
Hi, that was me.
Yeah, I see you there.
I saw a Carvana commercial on Comedy Central today too. I was like, what?
Just on a side note, we saw so many Carvana commercials during the race this weekend.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, and it just appeared out of nowhere today. I was like, what? So Jimmy Johnson's everywhere.
All right, so Kevin Harvick says he's set for 2 more years or more at SHR, according to Bob Pockris. Trackhouse showed support for the Cuban people's fight against their commie dictatorship. So that's good on them.
Pitbull. Shout out to
Saw
Pitbull.
Nick Sanchez put a sticker on his car this week, or one of the coming races as well.
It's pretty fitting if you think about it that Eric Almirola won the Cuban missile.
For Cuba.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did it for him.
NASCAR Next Gen cars. I put that down. The NASCAR Next Gen car has now done well enough in NASCAR's eyes to pass safety tests, and now the Next Gen chassis are being distributed to the teams. Actually, they've
already happened today.
Old Chocolate Myers posted pictures of them. There's a lot. What'd you say, Eric? A lot of metal.
The one photo of I don't see what team it was. I didn't look that close of the shop. Yeah, it was just tons of like roll cages basically lined up, like probably 15 of them.
I think one was Hendrick has gotten them, and I'm guessing the other one might have been either Penske or SHR.
Country singer Chris Lane will perform the pre-race show at Daytona next month, according to Bob Pockris.
Oh yeah, let's say
I
who.
don't know either.
I've
At least
never
we're getting a
heard-
pre-race concert. A lot of races I've been doing this year.
Yeah.
Chris Lane is I've known a person personally named Chris Lane. There's a professional fisherman named Chris Lane. I guess there's a country singer named Chris Lane. That's
It's
a
like
common name.
Ben Anderson. Like there's probably a billion of those out there. I'm sorry if anyone's
Joe
name out there is Ben. There's a good chance there's a Ben Anderson watching the podcast right now.
Mike Jones, one of those names. Yeah, one of those names.
A Dale Earnhardt Jr. I mean, those are just such common names. And
Hey, there's
they're
at least
probably
two Dale
watching
Earnhardts out there
Yeah.
in history.
Martinsville Speedway will allow backpacks and coolers at their October race.
Thank you.
According to our website, I was on there yesterday. Wink, wink.
Thank you.
What races are you not going to this year?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Southern 500. I've chosen not to go to that one because
Okay.
Oh, I'll be at that one.
I'm not.
Oh.
Hey, my mom will be there though, but I won't. though. My mom.
See,
I'll say hi.
Here's the thing, like me and Claudia was talking about. We want to go to Darlington, but we want to go when they do the throwback. So
I'm not going on
Playoff
Mother's
opener.
Day. I'm not going on Mother's Day. Realtree has signed on as primary sponsor for Tyler Reddick for 5 more races this year.
okay,
Smart.
I want to say this: Realtree has backed down their presence a lot, in my opinion, from what they used to. But they have still stayed with RCR since like the Dale Earnhardt days.
Yeah, that is true. Damn, they've been there for a while.
And then getting this baby done with here, Kyle Busch is releasing a documentary called My Xfinity Series Story, and I hope to God he's not twerking to the freaking
Yeah.
Offspring
Wait, what?
ball band.
I didn't see this.
Yeah,
I was about to
he
say.
put a trailer out on Twitter today.
So it's called My Xfinity Series Story. Basically, yeah, I just kept whipping everyone. They told me to leave.
I just kept whipping
showing up.
everybody.
That's
They
a
wanted me to
terrible-
leave.
Hey, he kept whipping everybody except for that one brief period when he owned the team. He did horrible during.
Oh,
that
I
time.
know, and he was angry. Yep, he was angry about
But
that.
That's a terrible name for a show, though. That's not good
Oh,
at
yeah.
all. Yeah. What?
But that's the lightning round. So
And that'll do it for another edition of the Lightning Round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast.
Jeez.
And now, back to the show.
We are literally almost done.
I know, I was about to say it, too. Like,
Closing in
oh.
on 2 hours as well, which
yeah,
means
and
not
these won't take too long.
Yeah.
well. The show would not be possible without great sponsors. We talked about Lionel earlier. Of course, it's that time of the show where we thank Forney Industries. Forney offers a full line of welding and plasma cutting machines, metalworking accessories, and a whole lot more. It's great for do-it-yourselfers or professional metal workers. Forney has everything you need for your next major product. So be sure to shop their full line of products at forneyend.com. Their link is down in the description, or check them out at an authorized Forney dealer near you. Lionel and Forney. You know, if your diecast get like mangled or something, if you leave them out in the hot sun or something and someone runs over them with a bike, you need to like weld pieces back together, then you turn to Forney. See how
Or
it's-
it- or
No,
if
we're
you,
fighting. No, we're
or if
fighting if you
you-
run over my diecast.
If
well, you fight them with a welder.
If you want to make some custom like race versions of those diecasts, go to Forney. Get those tools.
Run
yeah,
over
there
a
you go.
diecast with a bike.
Hey, build a victory lane, a really in-depth, really heavy-duty victory lane display for
Hey.
your race win diecasts.
Hey
using
Eric,
Forney.
what was somebody doing to your diecast? Doing a little evil Knievel stunt over your diecast or something? Right over the bike with him?
I remember as a kid, you know, when I was doing stop motions, I had an extra Jeff Gordon car, so I thought it'll be fun if I just destroy this car in a race. It was one of the first times anyone did that on a stop motion, and so I remember going out to my driveway with a baseball bat and smashing an old Jeff Gordon diecast with the bat.
Hey, on that note, Eric, since we got you here and you're talking about baseball bats,
Uh-huh.
I Snapchatted you that video. We all watched that at my house. What was that for? It was like 4 years ago or something like that.
I didn't
Oh,
yeah.
baseball, the pitching. Oh yeah.
I
Jared
was-
wasn't there.
I don't
Okay,
remember-
yeah.
I don't remember the context. I think it was for a college class. It was like my freshman.
That's
year.
what I was thinking.
It was
like,
from
I was
2016.
like, this has to be something for a class. He wouldn't just make this for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I did make random videos for no
Mhm.
reason back in the day, but that was just I don't remember where the idea came from. It was something I had to do pretty.
It was like, get these balls out of my
Well,
face.
My guess is
I
that
thought it was pretty funny.
you were
Yeah.
having a conversation with yourself, so I took it that had to be like part of the assignment or something like that.
I don't remember. I'll be honest. I don't know. I didn't post all my college assignments too.
Hey,
They got
shout out to
better.
out of context Eric
Hey,
Estepp
let's,
for posting these videos.
Yeah.
Let's keep going because we got a lot of super chats here. Because
Oh, yeah.
like Daniel likes to say, we're supported by viewers like you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like PBS. All right, I'm gonna start the timer. I'm just gonna we're gonna roll through a bunch of these, and once we hit 5 minutes, we'll be good to go.
Wait, do you want me to do a timer?
No, I got time. I have it literally right here, so I can watch it as it goes.
Then I'm just gonna sit back and take it easy while you do that.
All right, so here we go. Let's start it in 3, 2, 1. Mrs. Jar Jar Binks. Well, Eric, congrats. I guess you have a baby. Thanks for your $4.99, Mrs. Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks says that he still got some big news. Announced 2 drivers for retirement, and Big Doo-Doo Head Harvick. And
Of course.
Junior and Matt Kenseth, I guess.
Shut up, Jar Jar. I've seen Star Wars now, and I hate it.
Alex, thank you for the $5. This question, if after Daytona, if we have 17 different winners, it goes to who is lowest in points with a win is out, correct? Yes. As long as, now it would be Almirola, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, I forgot, yeah.
They based off playoff points, though? Like, what if you only have 1 win and you're lower in points, but you have, like, a stage win as well?
I think it's just off of points. I'm not sure. Andrew Meyer, thank you for the $5. Says we managed to not only get a good New Hampshire and Pocono races this year, but we got them both in the same year. What even is the 2021 timeline anymore? I don't know. Alex, thank you for another $5. Says also, since you had Sam Meyer on the show, he had no luck. Can you undo his bad luck, please? We'll try and get him on again. The Real Dragon Master says...
Someone tweeted me this.
Boo-Boo Head Harvick. Oh, jeez.
Just skip the Jar Jar Binks.
Xavier Herrera, thank you for the $2.99. Says no PJ1 equals to amazing racing. Hashtag cancel PJ1. That's a movement I can get behind. Avatar Cora says the Avatar issues a statement condemning NASCAR officiating. They, at the very least, should have waved the caution clock. Also called the race too early. Enough light. Platinum Paradise, thank you for the $4.99. NASCAR sent the cars on a wet track the same year. Well, I'm not going to read the rest of that. Irvin Alvarado, thank you for the $20. NASCAR, with the poor rain call and an Almirola comeback win before sunset, was just as dramatic as Hamilton taking out Verstappen in the British Grand Prix and winning. Mark 7/18 as the craziest day in motorsports ever. Burning Rubber, thank you for the $1.99. Says playoffs before Eric, plus 106. After Eric, minus 5 AD. He lost 111 points. Isaac, thank you for the $4.99. Won only 3 spots with 4 races left. Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin could both miss the playoffs if they don't win. 2. Did you hear Eric Estepp is going to race the 20 car in 2022? I did not, Eric. What the hell?
What?
Asami from Legend of Korra says, I am sponsoring Big Doo-Doo Head Harvick Racing.
Oh my gosh.
Just got the money for it. Whiskey _ Foxy31, thank you for the $5 Canadian. Says, I'd rather have 100 rainbow cautions over what we had last week. 2 cautious is way better than reckless. Racing is already dangerous enough. I agree. Dustin, thank you for the $4.99. Says, went to my first NHRA event this weekend. Highly recommend it. 22,000 horsepower at 300 plus miles an hour in under 4 seconds. Literally rattles your brain when it goes by. That is true.
I need to go back to another one because when I went in 2018, I didn't vlog it. I need to go get that experience on film again.
And the nitrous is awesome.
Still rolling. DJ Big Boss, thank you for the $4.99. Says me. I'll make a song out of Darian's lightning round yell if Almirola wins a race. Almirola, bet. Looks like I'm making that song. Well, just tag us all on Twitter when you make it. Or YouTube or whatever.
We'll make it the intro song for a week.
On Darian's channel. Platinum Paradise, thank you for the $4.99. Says, it's frustrating that the 750 horsepower package with no PJ1 is clearly better, the better product, but NASCAR and the manufacturers won't have any of it. This person's name is Dang It Danny.
What'd I do?
That makes it even funnier looking at the profile. Anyway, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, I find it funny how Almirola got his first non-restrictor plate win at the only other track that has hosted a plate race back in 2000. That's nuts.
What?
Mickey win.
Let's
That's a Mickey win deep down.
Check those cars for restrictor plates.
Scott McNew, thank you for the $5. Says went to SRX at Eldora and Indy, and that definitely was some of the best racing experiences I've ever had. Highly recommend. And then the last one we'll get to before the last round tonight. We'll get to a few more later. From Steven Gibson for $20 says what a race that was, and found out if Denny keeps regular season championship, even with 16 winners, he'll make the playoffs. Yes, that's true. Also, no racing till the Glen in 2 weeks. Crying, but hey, the Glen is back. Thank you. We will get to the rest of the super chats in a bit. Let's get to a few more topics here. We don't. So if you leave any more, we'll read them then. But we got some pretty cool stuff on tap here. Silly season news. We can probably roll through a few of these because let's be real. We already knew Brad Keselowski confirmed for the 6.
What? Whoa! Wait a minute.
No one told me this. What are you talking about?
What the hell is going on here? He's going to the 6. Does he want to end his career?
Well, where the hell will Newman go?
This is great. This is great. Oh, man.
Okay.
What a shock to my shock, though.
Anyways, what else?
Harrison Burton is in the 21 car next year.
Hey, I want to point this out. Matt DiBenedetto has been replaced by the former driver of the JGR 20 car 2 consecutive times.
Oh, that's rough.
It's sad but true.
That's rough, buddy.
That's rough.
Speaking of DiBenedetto, he's out. He is now a free agent. And Darian, see if you can find the quote while we talk a little bit about the Harrison Burton and DiBenedetto stuff. See if you can find the quote from Roger on that one.
Let me see. Yeah. Let me see.
I think that, I'll be real, I think Harrison Burton will probably perform about the same as DiBenedetto. I just think you see so many drivers, no matter how good, struggle their first year in.
He's even struggling compared to his season last year. So I don't think he's not superstar material yet by any means.
So basically on the whole Roger Penske quote, this was from Daniel McFadden on Twitter. He said, on Sirius XM NASCAR this AM, Roger Penske said his team made it clear to Matty D last year it was giving him one more season in the 21, in part to build his brand, and then we're moving on. So he was like, hey, bud, you knew the deal.
So basically it's like, we're giving you exposure.
He probably wasn't too happy that Dibby put out a 10-minute video on Facebook talking about how pissed he was that he's not getting to keep that ride.
Exactly. So he was like, dude, this guy knew the deal.
You knew the deal when you took the job.
You knew it. So
DiBenedetto going online and basically kind of whining about something.
Whoa, we turned on DiBenedetto just like that.
I like DiBenedetto, but
I do too.
It's getting old. Like the woe is me thing is getting old. Like, dude,
look, I understood.
Get it.
Mm-hmm.
He's a decent driver with no sponsorship. That's a tough combination in NASCAR these days.
I understood him being emotional in 2019 at Bristol. I totally get that, with all the circumstances going on. But then again, it happens at Talladega this year. I'm like, okay. And then, again, a 10-minute video on Instagram. Like, it's just, and last year too?
Dude,
did it happen last year?
Oh, that's right. You weren't there. We were there. Yeah, he finished second last year at Talladega.
I forgot.
Well, no, he didn't finish second.
He cried at Talladega. He cried at Bristol.
Yeah, but didn't he cry again this year?
My daughter's wedding.
So basically, it's a whole thing with him.
Don't get me wrong. I'd probably cry too if I was in his place, but
Yeah, but I mean, it's just after 4 or 5 times, it's like, okay, all right, we get it, bro. But I hope he finds another ride though. I hope he finds
my eyes with my biceps.
I know he's such a strong dude. What'd you say?
On that note, it keeps something good. WWE's not out of equation,
Whoa! I like that.
Hey, Matty D in the W. Yeah, he could do that. He could do that. Right?
It's like all of a sudden music hits. Who is that? He comes in driving a race car.
Hey, he did do the boxing, the Rocky thing at a Bristol a year or so ago.
He's fit. He's really fit. I could see him being a wrestler. There you go. So hey, this is another career
choice.
You can win the ring. Matty D could finally get his win and win a WWE championship.
Matty
there you go.
Matty D will main event WrestleMania.
Well,
I can't see Matt DiBenedetto acting the way you need to act in wrestling, with the mean voice, the angry eyes. He'd
start crying. He'd start crying again. Matty, what are you doing, Matty? Matty, no. That's not in the script, Maddie. It wasn't in the script. You're supposed to tear him to shreds.
Like, only the best actors can cry on command. What does it take to only cry? That's gonna be like
that's what
next level.
Oh gosh, they're gonna turn Benedetto into a jobber.
Oh god, but no. Hopefully, Matty D finds a cup ride soon.
Well, part of that deal is Austin Cindric, who was going to be in the 21, is now going to pilot the 2 car. And I want to ask, there's been some talk about this. I'm 100% behind this, but for some reason, there's a large section of the fan base that thinks his dad gave him that ride.
Man, you know what? And here's the thing.
I mean,
like,
he
yes,
did,
his dad. Yes.
Well,
his
technically, but you know what I mean. You know.
Don't ever disrespect the family.
Look, yes, his dad is Tim Cindric, who has a very high up. I think he's like what, the vice president?
He's the president.
Or president. Whoa, so he's the damn president of Penske. Yeah. So look, he has a major background in motorsports in general. So I mean, yeah, naturally, like, you know, his son is gonna get some help and stuff. But at the same time, his son has to perform to get that ride, you know, and he's shown it this year. And also, you know, like having that 2 ride on these road courses next year, you're going to see a lot of, you know, Chase Elliott versus Austin Cindric type battles here for 2022. So it's going to get really exciting. I think, you know, immediately with the abundance of road courses and, you know, some of these tracks he's good at, Austin Cindric could come right out the gate and maybe start winning, you know, 2 or 3 races, maybe. I don't know. You never know. I mean, on these road courses with how good he is, it's certainly possible.
Yeah.
And then these last 2 things, you can kind of say they're a rumor, but Bob Pockris said that this is probably how it's going to go down. So I'm going to trust Bob on this one. It says Kurt Busch was more than likely in the second 2311 car, Chastain in the second Trackhouse car.
Perfect.
What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Perfect. It's the perfect situation. So they're going to find rides immediately after the season. And, you know, we already alluded to Kurt Busch going over there, and Ross Chastain's going to, you know, team up with Daniel Suarez. So that'll be entertaining.
How do you like this? Pitbull Cuban turned Florida man employs the Spanish driver and the Florida man driver.
Exactly. The watermelon driver. Yeah. So keeping it.
The math just adds up. But we'll see. It's not confirmed. I mean, there's still, it sounds like if 2311 can't get a charter for Kurt, then maybe he might end up taking another option. I think Trackhouse is still holding out because I think they'd prefer Kurt over Chastain. So,
we'll see. I would too.
Yeah.
But probably not going to get Kurt.
Now, I want to bring this one up. I know we're a NASCAR podcast, but this will tie in. Just bear with me here. Okay. So IndyCar has signed a multi-year extension with NBC Sports. 13 races on Big NBC. Rest of the races, but 2 are on the USA Network. Those 2 are going to be streamed on Peacock, or as David Land likes to say, the cock. So, first question. With this context in mind, does NASCAR's next deal entail that they will be having pay-per-view races at some point in any of the top 3 series?
They better not do that.
I'm not saying what they better not do. I'm saying, is it a realistic possibility like Forbes is trying to push out?
Yes. I can see it. Yeah, unfortunately, yes. Yeah, if somebody's willing to fit the bill, I can see that.
I don't think it's... I don't see a major part of the schedule going behind an extra paywall. I mean, cable is already kind of a paywall, but it is also 3 years away, really, and a lot can change. So I won't bet on anything at this point. It's interesting that IndyCar. Keep in mind, you know, there's a decent trade-off here for IndyCar. They get more races on Big NBC, like most of their schedules on main NBC. That's huge for them.
That's good.
I guess as a trade-off, now 2 of their races will be not probably viewed by very many people. So I think it would be a shame if NASCAR jumped fully that way, like had half their schedule on, you know, a paid streaming service or something, and the other half still on cable. If NASCAR goes a route, if NASCAR ends up, just to make it simple, say NBC buys the entire NASCAR schedule in 2025, they carry all 36 races or whatever. Say 20 of them, no, let's say 25 of them are on NBC and 11 are on Peacock, and you have to pay $5 a month. So keep in mind, you don't have to pay for cable because NBC is a broadcast channel, is a basic network channel. So you only have to pay for Peacock.
And I think if you have Xfinity, you get Peacock Premium for free.
So there's a possibility there that could be reasonable, but is it still optimal? I don't know. Is it optimal?
All things considered, I'm thinking about, for me, I enjoy watching the WWE and their pay-per-views. Well, they actually just got rid of their old WWE network because NBC and Peacock bought out the rights to do their pay-per-view. So we're already using the service. So it's not like it didn't be a one-stop shop for my wrestling and my NASCAR at that point.
Well, I want to ask, building off this, what are your thoughts on NASCAR doing a one-partner deal full season like IndyCar did? And I want to bring this point up here. Remember that NBC is now out of hockey, lost out on basketball, out on baseball, and aside from 1 day a week for 17 weeks of the year, aside from when they get a playoff game in the Super Bowl, but most of that is not during NASCAR season. They're pretty much out of football other than that one night a week. Would it be optimal to get a full season with NBC if it meant sacrificing 5 races to Peacock, 25 to, or I'll say this, 24 to NBC, 6 to Peacock, 6 to USA? Would that be optimal?
See, that seems more optimal. And it, with the abundance of races on, the big time NBC, now to have it on one network all season and stuff it would be different certainly, but I mean, it would be a lot easier for, fans to watch. It's like, hey, it's on one network all season long. And then, sometimes it'll be on Peacock, sometimes it'll be on USA. So yeah, I mean, I can see that as optimal, but just having even just one race behind a paywall, I just don't like. But I mean, it's a business. I understand why they're trying to do it.
I know they still have golf. What I'm saying is they've cleared a large section.
No,
especially of their prime time schedule out. I'm sorry, they're not golfing at night. They're not.
But they golf on Sundays. That could conflict.
Yeah, not true.
For big tournaments, I don't know. That's the only reason maybe that prevents NBC from going full season. But your scenario that you laid out, I would take it. I think it would be okay. But also, I don't have a problem spending $5 a month for Peacock.
I would like.
So I don't know that the average fan would do that.
It would be interesting to see Dale Jr. calling a Daytona 500.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I would want to see that. And also, like Fox has been calling it since every year since 2007, right?
Well,
no, 2001.
No, 7. No, 02,
yeah.
4,
Oh,
and 6.
I forgot about that. There was that period where
and
it was like every other week, wasn't it?
No, every other year was the Daytona 500 switch channels, and Fox had the rest. So
Fox and NBC. Yeah.
A big point to bring up too, if NBC does get very bullish on NASCAR here, is that historically speaking, when it comes to prime time, NBC does better than Fox, and it did better with the Daytona 500 compared to each year before it. I mean, the most watched NASCAR race ever was an NBC Daytona 500 because because here's the thing, NBC has the Olympics, right? So yeah, it sucks when the Summer Olympics are going on, but when it comes to the Winter Olympics, they have the entire Olympic season to promote the Daytona 500.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And you can literally now promote NASCAR races on the Indy 500 too.
Exactly. So it's just, just the one thing I just don't, it's just, the Peacock deal, whatever. I'll have to, pay for the service and stuff. Fine. But, I'd rather it be on the big TV. But, I get why it's not though.
All things considered, it's not a bad app. There's a lot of things you can just watch on it.
My thing is, if you're going to put any significant amount of the schedule on a streaming service, there shouldn't be any races on cable. Because the point of streaming services is I'll pay for the streaming services I want so I can cancel cable. That's sort of the whole movement that we've seen among consumers in the last decade. So if there's 10 races still on USA Network and then 10 races on Peacock, then that's a fail. That's terrible because I'll pay for Peacock because it's my job and I love NASCAR. But guess what? Not everyone loves NASCAR. So you're going to miss out on a lot of the more casual or watch most races crowd. They're going to tune out of the Peacock races. So it's going to kill momentum. Sponsorship for the team's value will go down.
And also I just realized will some of these tracks be okay with that? It's like, wait, we're not
getting
on
the
TV
TV money anyway.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, they'll be mad, but they get the money.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, true. Good point.
Anyway, if they start putting races behind a paywall like that, like a streaming service, an extra $5-10 a month, they should go commercial free or almost commercial free, or at the very least, no more full screen green flag commercials. You can do side by side, sure, but if I'm paying $10 a month for Peacock, and this is especially if they still have some races on cable, then no, the Peacock races should be commercial free at the very least.
I mean,
I agree.
I personally I'd pretty much cut out all cable. Like, there's nothing on cable outside of NASCAR that I care about personally.
The
But
only reason I have cable is to watch the Astros and Rockets because TV contracts black those out still on NBA League Pass and MLB TV, and to watch NASCAR.
That's about it.
If I could get my sports on streaming, if blackout restrictions weren't a thing, I would have canceled cable a long time ago.
Yeah, I've had NFL Sunday Ticket for a while, so I just use that to watch football basically. But yeah, like anything else I watch on my cable out here, which is Cox, is basically just sports in general.
now, you know for a fact that if they do this, like all the non-points races, you got pretty much all the cup races before the Daytona 500 probably will not be on TV. But I feel like there's got to be a trade-off here. Oh, and GP Labs brings up a good point. The IndyCar's whole season will be on Peacock commercial-free regardless.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're paying for that service to watch it.
So,
if they go that route, I think there's some value there.
the thing is, NASCAR needs to jump this bridge now. IndyCar is smart as hell for doing this because this is the future. Like, cable is going to die. Like, it's going to die out. It is going the way of the dinosaurs. It's going the way of radio, where, yeah, some people will have it, but let's be real. Majority of people who listen to radio on a regular basis either A, have it in their car already,
They're freaking nursing home.
or B, are definitely not in the target demo that everyone's looking for. Like, when I move down south to, you know, whether it's to Nashville or whatever, more than likely, like, when I move, I am not getting cable. I'm not. I'm going to find the streaming services with what I want and YouTube. That's all I'm going to be using for entertainment.
Literally, I keep a TV with a Roku in front of this computer, and I just basically watch YouTube all day.
We watch the funniest videos whenever I come over, bro.
But I'm saying, like, when I watch something, it's free. I'm paying for my internet. That's it.
Free.
I was about to say, you beat me to it.
I don't even know what company that is.
It's a commercial. It's a commercial.
Those commercials are stuck in my head, but I don't even know what the company is.
I think it's Geico.
I don't know. I think it's some smaller company. I don't know, but I get the reference though. I always hear it.
It's so funny that we don't even know what the company is. They spend billions on or millions on those ads.
This tells you how many people are like looking this up. I just start free, and the first thing is like free commercial. Free commercial. Oh, TurboTax. That's what.
Oh yes, TurboTax. Yeah, that's right.
No wonder I only think about my taxes once a year. But yeah, I mean, I because you're gonna have to go down this road at some point. Do you do it now and get the major drop off in viewers for those races out of the way now and build up something over time?
Sorry, no, yeah.
Or do you keep doing what is not gonna help?
No, you do it now because you just said. I mean, it's basically gonna die out eventually.
Isn't the NFL even doing that with a game on?
Yeah, with Amazon Prime. Yeah.
I mean,
they're doing that stuff. Yeah.
When NFL, NBA,
but they're also
MLB
putting games on. They're also putting games on Nickelodeon. So
might as well.
But if there's gonna be people that are watching still, like kids programming, actually, when it comes to Viacom, is the top viewed thing. Like I actually looked this up. I looked this up the other day when I was looking up some stuff to see like if CBS ever got NASCAR, what channels it would be on. And I'm surprised that main CBS shows get lower viewership than a lot of Nickelodeon shows nowadays.
These kids love their SpongeBob.
They love SpongeBob.
Yeah, I love that. It's the Patrick Star Show. Man, kids are cursed, man. They got the worst things to watch.
I know. I think we had the golden age. Avatar,
we did.
They even have a new cursed version of Rugrats.
Dude, they're having a new version of freaking Ed, and Eddie. Are you kidding me?
The Meat Canyon version is enough.
That's what I heard. So
speaking of cursed cartoons, my sister showed me they did a Blair Witch Project parody of Scooby-Doo like 15 years ago and you can find it on YouTube. They animated Scooby-Doo characters over like real footage of like the woods and stuff. It's freaking weird, but
yeah.
In other words, we lived in the prime because that was like 15 years ago. We lived in like the prime era of cartoons, man.
Oh, so I guess it's set to premiere August 5th on Cartoon Network. This new Ed, and Eddie Oh my God!
Better get cable.
All right, if we don't have anything else to add, I want to get to one more thing before we do super chats, and then we can probably talk about next week and who we may or may not have on.
Stay tuned for that.
Pick points really didn't change. Like Eric and I picked the same people.
Hey,
we need to stop picking the same people.
We gained on you guys. You guys.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, so I got four. I have 400.
I'm basement at the bottom.
I have 419 points. Eric's minus 36. The guests are minus 77. Chat minus 89. Darian is now in double digits again, minus 97.
Yes.
And Danny is minus 110.
Yes.
That is our preview for nothing because there's no racing this week.
Yes. And next week there will be nothing.
All right,
again.
so really quick, before we get into super chats and talking about what we got in tap for next week, are you guys doing any vacation or any like little weekend trip or anything during these off weekends?
No, I am just relaxing, man. I'm getting my stuff ready for the Indy trip and Daytona trip.
I'm getting myself into prime like fishing mindset because I'm not going to Music City Grand Prix because my state tournament's that weekend.
He's got the state tournament. He's got a ring to win. Get a ring, Danny.
We'll be hanging out around here. There's fun things to do nearby, but not going out of town.
I'm going to the Dells next weekend.
The Dells? What's that?
The Dales. What's the Dales?
Oh, Wisconsin Dells.
Oh, okay.
I thought you said you was going to Dale's. You're going to Dale Jr.
You're on Dales. I'm going to Dale's house.
Dan in his extra guest room.
No.
Just knocking on a ground.
I have a hat on, Terry.
It's 3 in the morning.
Well, yeah. Well, the really cool thing about Wisconsin Dells, they have these things called the jet boats that literally use old NASCAR engines.
Ooh,
that sounds loud.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that sounds
they're.
good.
I think they said they're very old. So they're because they're unrestricted and they're only like well, not only I should say. I think they're like I think they have two 700 horsepower engines. They book
I'm
it,
I'm just imagining me now. I'm out fishing my kayak. It's all peaceful, quiet birds.
Hi, Danny.
But if it's a DEI engine, it would explode.
Actually, I made that joke because one of them blew when I was there in 2007, and I'm
Probably
like,
a DEI.
I was like, hey, look, Teresa funded that one.
If it's an old like Rick Ware, you're gonna be lucky if you're getting off the bank.
Oh no.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where's my 8 ride?
Actually, no. Maybe not even Rick Ware. Let's say if it's an old gin racing.
Yeah.
Wait, Gen?
Gen racing.
Gen, however you say it.
Gen racing.
All right, well, let's get these super chats really quick, and then we'll get on to what we have for next week, and we'll call it a night.
We finally have a guest next week.
Finally.
All right, here we go. So, by the way, Dr. Pepper 76, I'm definitely riding the Ducks. That's for sure. Anyway, Rocky Mountain Racer, thank you for $5. They're duck boats. They were used in the military on land, and they can also go into the water too.
Oh, so it's a what do they call those UTVs? What's it called?
They call them the Ducks.
I've seen like tour boats in like South Padre. Will be like, I don't know, they look silly, but cool.
This is great. I saw one of the super chats coming up. It's gonna be good. So Rocky Mountain Racer for $5. Thank you. Says, so wait, you're telling me 3 out of the 4 of you didn't watch the race, and rolls his eyes. I watched it.
Hey, to be fair, 3 out of 4 of us was actually going to watch this together, and then things happened.
Look, that's NASCAR's fault. Blame
Danny had to go to the grocery, damn it. He needed food.
I had to take Darian to the airport, and then I had to go to the grocery store.
I listened to the race at least. So
I watched it later, so technically I watched it. Groovy Goose, thank you for the $4.99. Says, don't forget Qui-Gon Jinn saved Jar Jar from lepaging the droid army and Phantom Menace. Spin the UFO, which is back, by the way.
I just realized it's back. Hey, it's back. Hey,
yeah, we gotta still work on the light situation, but that's just more of a charging deal. So
it's in stealth mode.
Yes. SDJ2 for $4.99 says, a little late, but I'm from Maine.
Yeah.
He says, gutted I chose not to go to the race on Sunday. Honestly, expected it to be a lackluster race. I don't blame you.
I'm sure the people in Maine are nice. I just forget you guys exist sometimes.
Barry Boy Blast just guessed that Drake Bell is going to be our guest next week. No, he's in jail.
He's in jail, bro.
Found a way to endanger a kid. Ryan Fussner, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, late to the party tonight, but SRX at Nashville was awesome. My son and I had such a good time. Rank it on the groovy gauge. What you got, Eric?
Nashville, I'll give a good 85%. Slinger was a 100, or at least a 95, but Nashville was really solid, I thought.
DJ Big Boss, thank you for the $4.99. Says, Would love to see the SRX go to a different region of the country every season to show off tracks that don't get a ton of national attention. I think that's something they can try for.
Yeah.
I don't know about all of them, but definitely for one or two.
I mean, from my understanding, I think the West Coast actually has a lot of short tracks out there.
We
that you never
do.
hear of.
We do. Come on out.
God, the chat's funny tonight. Alex.
I saw exactly what you're laughing at.
Alex, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, I own over, I think, 1,500 plus 164 scale NASCAR diecast. Lionel likely has boxes with my address ready to go in a blink.
That's
awesome.
That's a diehard collector, dude. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Top man. Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, I am glad to have Loudon as my home track, but I just want to see more intense racing. Well, I think you saw it this week. Hopefully it's consistently like that. Ryan, thank you for the $2. Spin the UFO, and he puts it twice, so I'll spin it just a little bit longer. Preston, thank you for the $9.99. Says, I don't get it. Matty D was told last year that 2021 would be his last year in the 21. Then he's surprised when 2021 is his last year. Not Penske's fault. Matt convinced himself he would stay.
Honestly, it should only be like us fans who could buy into that kind of hype right there. He should.
Yeah,
He
you're a
reads
driver.
Reddit rumors.
You're a
about
driver,
himself.
bro. You can't buy that crap.
Matt DiBenedetto is a NASCAR YouTuber confirmed.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he looks at the stuff like we do.
Well, this kind of goes over the same ground, but I will ask it anyway for Rocky Mountain Racer for another $5. Thank you again. Darian, what do you think about NBC's IndyCar deal? Will we see a NASCAR deal like that and the F1 first lap deal?
What we just talked about. I mean, like, it wouldn't surprise me if we've seen that. And, for IndyCar, they have a bright future. They just need to add more races, specifically more ovals, by the way. As for F1, Lewis Hamilton was clearly in the wrong. But, this is Sky Sports that does the broadcast. So, they're not going to freaking, beat him up too bad over it. But
was the penalty not harsh enough?
No, it was only a 10-second, and poor Max Verstappen, like on the radio, who's going, literally,
that.
No, 51 G's he hit the wall, bro, 51 G's, and like and Max Verstappen, he's like a really tough guy too. So to hear him say that over the radio, like,
he walked away from it, just
Yeah, but basically, in conclusion, Mad Max is coming for Hamilton. I'm not saying he's gonna wreck him on purpose, but he's not going to, give an itch from this point on. And also, snobby F1 Twitter, you can go F yourselves. I love F1.
All right. Well, on that, Preston, thank you for the $4.99. Says, if the next gen car wasn't delayed until 2022, I believe that Cindric would have been in the 21 this year. I think you're right. And
Possibly.
Vote Kyle 3000. Thank you for the $15 super chat. Says, I'm late. I'm here late. Did Darian mention F1? Well, just did. Thoughts on Max Trash? Just did. Should drivers celebrate when someone's in the hospital? Ooh, I like this one.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point there.
I just want to know, what had been communicated to Lewis? Because we've seen in NASCAR, Hamlin didn't celebrate Newman.
I don't think he knew.
He didn't celebrate that much.
I don't think he knew Verstappen was in the hospital at that point. I don't think, but still, it's just not the best look though. It's just this wasn't good.
This one I like. Khalil Newt 28 for $4.99. Thank you very much, man. Says, would be funny if a driver called the execs to the hauler if they keep screwing around with their calls.
I wanted to see Mike Helton at the M&M's hauler after the race.
I love that. That's great. No way.
That's the equivalent of a Uno reverse card.
Thanks, Jake. GP Laps for $20 in there. Says, fellas, great job uncovering NASCAR/racing season so far. Great to hear some honest coverage of what's going on. Enjoy the break. Well, thanks, man.
Thank you. Thank you for the IndyCar content. Thank you.
Yeah. And that ends it off. That's the last super chat.
Wow.
So we got one thing left to talk about tonight, and it's not even about tonight. Darian, how about you lay us off? We're still not 100%, but we're almost 100% sure about next week. So go on off, Darian.
So, basically it's my birth week. Well, I don't celebrate a birth week. Some people call it a birth week. My birthday's on July 26th, so I'll be 24. Happy early birthday to me, I guess.
Jeff Gordon year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, awesome. And then on the 28th, the NASCAR Weekly Podcast will be on my channel. July 28th, we will have up-and-coming NASCAR Cup Series driver Harrison Burton will be on. And what's funny about that is kind of come full circle too, because like I remember back in 2019 when he first landed the Joe Gibbs Racing gig in Xfinity, and I was like, oh, this is a funny lineup because you had Herbst in the 18 and then Jones in the 19 and Burton in the 20, who at the time I kind of didn't feel was ready to necessarily go full time. And he surely called me out on it, and speaks to what I know because he ended up winning 4 races that season and now he's a Cup Series driver. So that's funny. But yeah, Harrison Burton will be on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast next week on Black Flags Matter, July 28th.
You know what's funny is I'm looking at the chat. They just got it because there's a bit of a delay, and I love looking at the reaction. So this is gonna be a really, really fun one.
It's always awesome.
But man,
yeah, Harrison Burton. Yeah.
And hell of a turnout, guys, tonight. Hell of a turnout for going into an off weekend. So we really appreciate it each week. So be sure to go on Darian's channel next week for the show. Be sure to catch Danny's vlog. Probably should have went up about 4 minutes.
It just went up.
It's actually live now.
I got the notification.
I just tweeted it, and so if you want to, go to my Twitter, run my YouTube channel, find out what an SRX race looks like from a fan's perspective.
And also keep an eye out. We may have a few announcements coming up. We got some cool stuff in the works, so it's gonna be a nice couple of weeks. But
we got some nice stuff for y'all,
fellas. Think we covered about enough tonight.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Now it's time to go back to sleep. It's the off week. We're off for 2 weeks. I don't have to do anything else.
We're on summer vacation. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, Cancun.
Woohoo! All right. Well, let's get this baby out of here. Let that baby play.
Someone in the chat said toodles. Who says toodles?
Toodles.
Well,
Toodles, everybody.
Toodles. Goodbye. Now I'm gonna get some French toast. I do it. Yes. Oh, let me play it.
I'm listening.
Let's hear it. I think it's perfect timing too. I heard it on iCarly one time. I was like, all right.
Sorry about that, y'all.